South Carolina's won the toss. They've deferred to the second half.
Jamar, thank you. Gamecocks do win the toss, and despite the loud music, they articulated that they wanted to defer to the second half. And Tommy, I get that. Really, even in this setting where you think you'd have to score a lot of points, with a defense that's only yielding 10 per game, might be that halftime adjustment that helps push you over another touchdown or another possession. So the Gamecocks will kick off, and it'll be Jake Fromm and crew that'll take the football. All-American Heating and Air is a veteran and family-owned business. Every time the Gamecock defense reports a sack, All-American Heating and Air gives back donations of $100 for each sack to support our veterans. All-American Heating and Air is a proud supporter of the Gamecocks and the military. Quite the setting. We're glad you're with us.
I tell you, the setting's good, and everybody talks about the Georgia setting, and it is good, but it doesn't compare to Carolina, to Williams-Brice, because they don't have the white towels, they don't have 2001, and they don't have Sandstorm, but they do a good job. Do a good job here. Got to hand it to them.
Well, what will happen here today will dictate what time we take on those Florida Gators next week. It'll be nice to be back at Williams-Brice Stadium.
A big one tonight down in Death Valley. LSU in Florida, as everyone knows, that's a huge one. Hopefully we'll get back. We came over on buses yesterday, as we always do with the football team, and got in here after couldn't get out of Columbia for a bad wreck, and finally got out of there. Got here a little bit later than normal, but came over this morning from Atlanta. That's where we stay, on the edge of Atlanta. Then came over this morning. We'll be back about 8 or 9 o'clock tonight, so we'll be able to see some of that.
Here's Will Tommy to kick off. He's had 25 kickoffs, 17 touchbacks for the Gamecocks. James Cook is set back to receive. And here's a left footer, puts his foot into it. High, end over end, about 5 yards deep. And Georgia rightfully takes the touchback. Gorgeous day, not a cloud in the sky you can see.
And same uniform combinations that back in, I guess it was 13 or 12, whenever it was, that Jadeveon Clowney, Melvin Ingram, Marcus Lattimore, Stephon Gilmore came over here and won 45, 42, 43, whatever the score was. But beautiful day for college football then. That was a 3:30 start.
That took about 10 years off my life, I think, that day. All right, here's DeAndre Swift in the backfield, and Jake Fromm, the junior from Warner Robins, Georgia, 6'2", 20. He's under center with Swift 6 yards behind. It'll be Swift right side, into the line. Big push from that offensive line, but not a gap there going, and the Gamecocks finally get that pile of red jerseys to the ground, but a gain of 4 on the play for Swift. And an offensive lineman comes off the field right off the bat. And switch up on the play. We'll check that number and see what occurred. 2nd down and 6 for Fromm. He'll get in the shotgun pistol formation. 3 wide receivers over the left side and Swift to his left. Fromm claps for the football. Looks to the left side, throws out in the flat. Got a man right at the marker at the 35. And boy, he threw that into coverage. Lucky it was not picked. It is caught on the play by Lawrence Kager. And Kager brings it down for 8 and a Georgia first down.
Yeah, 6'5", Kager on 6'4", Mukamo. So interesting matchup right there. Let's see how that goes on all day long.
Boy, R.J. Roderick was right in the path of that throw. And wondered if he could have reached up and gotten a piece of it. Well, after the first down, Fromm gets back in a 2 tight end set. One back in the backfield is Swift. Fromm, play action, drops back deep in the pocket. Looking for an out route towards the Gamecock bench. He's got his man over on the sideline into Gamecock territory at the 49-yard line. Tyler Simmons, the senior from Powder Springs, Georgia. That's his 7th catch on the year. This one's good for 14 yards.
Well, what a throw that time by Fromm.
Good play action, not bad coverage on the play. J.C. Horn over covering on Simmons, but right on the right spot, 1 foot down and stepped out of bounds. So the Bulldogs on their opening drive, no score and a quiet Sanford Stadium into Gamecock territory at the Carolina 49. Fromm under center, handoff left side, Swift puts the ball in his left arm, and Swift goes to the turf as Mukwamu takes him down and tries to rip the football out, but it's not before he got 7 yards on the play. Swift, not a big guy, 5'9", 215, but he can go inside the tackles and outside in a big way. He had 18 carries for a career high, 98 yards against number 7 Notre Dame earlier this year. He stays in the ball game from 2nd down and 3. Swift again, right up the middle, 1st down for the Bulldogs inside the Carolina 39 down to about the 36 or so. We'll see where they spot it. 5-yard gain on the play, and they move the chains for Georgia. Sherrod Green on the stop. Sherrod Green's a guy who's gotten into the lineup, Tommy, with his play over the last couple of weeks.
He really has. He's up to 13 tackles now, but particularly the last couple of weeks, so we decided to put him in there in cases where you normally put a nickel back in there, but he's played well.
On the 6th play of the drive to open up the game, it's 1st and 10 for Georgia. Fromm empties the backfield. He's in the pocket, stands in, gets hit just as he throws it, but delivers to his back, who's hit immediately on the play. Swift caught it on a crossing route, but T.J. Brunson right there to take him down. It's just a 2-yard gain. Oh, man, who was creeping along on Fromm's ankles that time? We almost had the junior quarterback.
Yeah, I know. We had a good play that time by Wanham on the outside end that time. He really made a good swim move and just not quite there in time. Maybe another second earlier, he would have gotten him.
That'd be a good sign if we could get to Fromm with just 4 guys down. All right, after the completion at 2nd down and 8 with 11:42 to go in the first quarter. It'll be Swift going left side. They track him from behind and bring him down.
Nice play. Nice play.
Sherrod Green, we were just giving him praise, and he comes in from the backside and takes down Swift, who couldn't turn the corner. It's still a 3-yard gain, but the first 3rd down comes up for Georgia. It'll be 3rd and 5.
Good move down the line. Lateral move that time by Kinlaw, too, Todd. We talked about him a lot pregame and all year long, but made a good move as well.
Looks like Fromm's going to empty the backfield again. Swift splits out to the left side. On the Gamecock 32-yard line. 3rd down and 5 for Georgia in their first drive. Now Swift into the backfield. Blitz up the middle by the Gamecocks. Fromm's in the pocket, in trouble, and they sack him. They bring him down around the 32-yard line. He may have gained a yard or so. No, that's -1. It is a sack, and that's another All-American Heating and Air sack for Soldiers. For that sack and every other sack recorded by the Gamecock defense this year, All-American Heating and Air will donate $100 to support our veterans.
Only the 2nd sack given up by Georgia all year long, and let's credit Ernest Jones that time. He had Swift coming out of the backfield on a drag route and stayed with him, and that's who Fromm wanted to go to. When he came back across the field, he didn't have time.
So here's Blankenship, the graduate senior kicker, who's 11 for 11 on the season. This one's from 50 yards out. Snap it back, put it down. Rodriguez puts his foot into it. Looks to be long enough and good.
12 for 12.
3. Amazing on the air, for that matter, his entire career. Leading scorer, and Rodrigo Blankenship. Georgia strikes first, but a good hold.
They can make the decisions going on further during the game.
Now we're lucky it only ended in 3, because Georgia's been good in the first quarter this year. And they do hold them to a 50-yard field goal and take it. But the drive was 9 plays, 42 yards. The sack from Enagbare got the stop on 3rd down, and then Blankenship came in. And here's Georgia to kick off, and Shi Smith is set back to receive for the Gamecocks. Blankenship raises his hand, runs up from the 25, puts the right foot into it, end over end. Shi comes towards the near sideline, lets it go over his head and out of bounds. And from the bridge, if you know Sanford Stadium, Gamecocks will have their backs to that. Going to the closed end here. And that's the eastern part, back towards Columbia. We'll be heading back there in a couple hours, hopefully with a Gamecock victory. Now, here's Ryan Helensky against a top 5 opponent, another one in his career, this one on the road. He'll take Rico Dowdle into the backfield with him. Shi Smith comes in motion. They fake to him and now go to Shi Smith out on the edge, swing it out to Shi, and into the boundary he goes, and only gained about 1 on the play. Not a lot of room for Shi to work on 1st down. His 2nd down and 9 upcoming.
That's okay, though. One of the things that happened there was our quarterback completed the pass. That was huge. Easy little pass, but still it helped.
Hancock's going quickly, and Helensky wants to throw again. Out of the pocket, deep out route for Chavis Dawkins. Dawkins coming out of the break. Kalinsky got hit, Tommy, just as he threw it. That might have gotten a little high on Dawkins. It'll bring up third down and 9 yards to go.
Unless he did a good job of getting it off that time.
Yep. That got hit just as he threw it. Kalinsky starting to hear this Athens crowd get after him. Brian Edwards comes over and gets in the slot. Battles in the backfield to the right of Kalinsky. Edwards now goes in motion across the formation to the left side. Third down and 9. The freshman quarterback, wide receiver screen. Edwards coming back towards the middle. He's got some room. He's at the 30, gets hit hard. Going to be well short of the first down needed to get to the 35, but he does make it up to about the 31. And boy, we've had some designs to get him the ball in the wide receiver screens the last couple of weeks. That's a positive play of 5, but not enough. And here comes the nation's number 2 punter in Joseph Charlton. SEC Special Teams Player of the Week a week ago. Had 165-yarder and averaged 50 yards a punt. Charlton puts his foot into it around the 20. It's a low line drive. Driving back, Blaylock. Blaylock catch a fair catch all the way back to the 10-yard line of Georgia. And you hear this crowd stunned as Charlton made the punt on the play. Good for 58 yards. Georgia Crescent Construction is a local award-winning roofer and the official roofer of the Gamecocks. Consultations are always free. Call Crescent Construction before you call your insurance company. It might save you money. Welcome back to Sanford Stadium in Athens, Georgia. It's the Gamecock Sports Network from Learfield, IMG College. And the Gamecocks are behind by 3 here in the first quarter as Georgia drove in their first drive. 9 plays, 42 yards, but had to kick a 50-yard field goal. And now they're backed up with 9:05 to go in the first quarter, just outside their own 10-yard line here in that east end zone. From out of the shotgun, working with James Cook in the backfield. Fake to him and throw wide receiver screen on the outside. Caught on the South Carolina bench and then run out of bounds quickly up to around the 15-yard line or so. We'll call it a gain of 4 yards on the play. And Demetrius Robertson, the native of Savannah, but who went out to Southern Cal, then transferred a year and a half ago, is in his second full-time season. And Kirby Smart talking to him as he comes on the sideline going, you got to cut it up. Don't run out of bounds. Second down and 6 after the catch. Fromm again, working out of the shotgun with 4 wide receivers. Handoff, sweep play. Towards the Georgia bench, trying to turn the corner. Gamecocks there, knock him out of bounds. James Cook, the Miami, Florida native, who's got his 10th carry on the season, gains 5 on the play. It's going to be third down and short. R.J. Roderick on the stop. And DeAndre Swift back in the game now. 3rd and 1. Ball on the 20-yard line of the Bulldogs. They lead it 3-0. Early start here in Athens. 4-man front blitz up the middle with the Gamecocks. Trying to rip the football away, cannot do so. They need to get across the 21. It looks like Swift is able to do that. They move the chains. Well-timed blitz, Tommy, but just in the wrong gap.
Exactly right. And they didn't give up much, Carolina, that is, but gave up enough for a third down conversion. I think they're 3 or 4 now on third down conversions.
Yep, they gained 2 on that before Kinlaw got into the turf. Jake Fromm, the 2017 SEC Freshman of the Year, leading the Bulldogs. 3 wide receivers over to the right side as he works off the left hash. Zamir White in the backfield now. White's got some moves, and he's got a hole over the left side, and he gets it all the way up to the 30-yard line. White, by the way, is 6 foot, 215-pound redshirt freshman from Laurinburg, North Carolina. They call him Zeus is his nickname, if you hear that in the background. 7-yard gain on the play. It'll be second down and 3 to go.
Gamecocks recruited him hard.
Yep.
I think it came down to Georgia and Carolina, but didn't get him.
7:03 to go in the first quarter. Georgia grinding. Fromm working out of the shotgun. Moves his big tight end over to the right side. John Fitzpatrick, the blocking tight end. And they'll hand off inside. Penetration by Kinlaw, and he got some help. And they take him down the backfield. Wanham. That was all Kinlaw blowing up the right side of the line. Wanham then came in and made the tackle. -2 on the play. Third down upcoming, 3rd and 5.
Yeah, just nice push up front that time, as Todd called it. Just knocked number 55 all the way back. That's Hill. That's the center. That's supposed to be a good matchup here today. Well, if that's the case, I'll go with Wanham. I'm sorry, go with Kinlaw.
Boy, he just blew him back there. The back had nowhere to go. Swift's in now to the left of Fromm. 3rd down and 5. 4 wide receiver set. Fromm in the pocket, backing up. Throws across the middle, in and out of the hands of his wide receiver. And it'll be a punting situation for Georgia. Eli Wolf, the tight end. It was on his hands and was catchable, although eBay was tracking on the play. Wolf with a drop. 4th down for the Bulldogs.
Way too much time that time for Fromm to throw. We only rushing 3 people, dropping a lot of people back in coverage, but he still was able to find the receiver, Wolf, and he just went right through us and just dropped it. You got to catch that.
Umarda to punt. With his 43.2-yard average, stands on his own 13-yard line. Brian Edwards set back for the Gamecocks. Umarda puts his foot into it. A driving punt. Brian can't get back to get it. It bounces around the 10 at the 5. Is going to hang and stay at the 6-yard line. Wow, what a punt. Umarda crushing the football. Both these two punters changing fields in a big way. As he kicked that one from the 13-yard line, that's a 66 down. Thank you, TD Bank. Ryan Helinski will take anything right now. Backed up in that west end zone with a tremendous punt from Umarda, a 66-yard, the longest on his year. And Helinski's got it 1st and 10 with 2 tight ends, Nick Muse and Markway. Out of the gun, they'll run it. Rico Dowdle left side. Stutter step for Rico, turning it up at the 10 all the way up to the 12. Nice cut on that left ankle by Rico Dowdle as he got out to the edge, and a 6-yard gain on 1st down before Michael Barnett, the middle guard from Dorchester, South Carolina, played his ball at Woodland, makes a stop. Carolina going quickly again. And Helinski will run it again with Dowdle left side. And Rico's across the 15 after breaking a tackle in the backfield, and another 2 yards gain. It'll be 3rd down and short.
Yeah, Clark, the defensive tackle, was back there, and Dowdle just kind of ducked under him that time and was able to pick up some more yards.
3rd down, about 2 yards to go. Helinski out of the shotgun, wants to throw. Looking over the middle to Nick Muse. Incomplete, and there's a flag on the play. Helinski was hit as he threw it. There's a flag thrown on the edge out here, which often can be holding on the defense. We'll check the call. Pass interference on Georgia. Nick Muse was opened over the middle, Tommy. Another high pass, and Helinski ended up on his tail, and it gives the Gamecocks the 1st down.
Ryan looks really nervous back there right now with his feet. And I don't blame him. He's got some pressure in his face, but we got to give him quicker passes to throw to have a little success here to settle him down a little bit. But he looks really feeling like he's feeling that pressure coming, moving around a lot quicker than he did against Alabama and others.
Edwards comes in motion behind Helinski out of the gun, but they'll run it right side with Dowdle's got some room. Oh, then they track him down quickly. Maybe too much hesitation from Rico that time as he had the edge with Kyle Markway, but he only gained 1 before Monty Rice from Madison, Alabama, who leads the team with 26 tackles. He now has 27 for Georgia. Gamecocks trying to get some substitutions in. Brian Edwards and Chavis Dawkins in. They'll empty the backfield. Edwards comes in motion to the right. Now they're going to shift everybody. Edwards is in the slot to the left side. Dowdle in the backfield. Georgia still moving. Helinski in the pocket. Underneath is Markway. Incomplete on the crossing route to Kyle. Thrown behind him. And I think he missed Edwards out there in the slot time. He sat down on the play. And now 3rd and long coming up for Helinski.
Yeah, I think you're right on that one, Todd. Also, though, Markway was open. Markway had gone underneath the coverage, and he just didn't get it to him. And he didn't have any pressure that time necessarily. But again, Ryan's a little unsettled, understandably so. We just got to give him some easier passes to complete. Not now, though. We got to pick up 9 yards.
Down 3 with 4:19 to go in the 1st quarter. Carolina at their own 28-yard line. Helinski empties the backfield. 3rd down and 9. Freshman's got it in the pocket. Throwing, crossing around. Edwards caught at the 43. Down immediately, but a 1st down for Carolina. Ryan's got to peel himself off the turf at the 20-yard line, but he got the completion good for 15 yards and a Carolina first down.
Yeah, nice throw that time. He hung in the pocket like he's supposed to, and he stepped to his target, threw it down where the guy can catch it. Brian Edwards, that is. But as Todd said, he took another shot. Probably every time he throws the ball, he takes a shot, so that's going to wear on you after a while. So we got to make sure we're giving him some protection.
A lot of substitutions. Davian Feaster in for the Gamecocks. Helinski wipes the hands off. Coming in motion across his van. It'll be Tavian Feaster on the left side. Pen and pull, as they call the play, a sweep. They'll gain just 1 yard as Georgia tracked him down with Michael Barnett, the middle guard from South Carolina.
Carolina picking up the tempo a little bit, Todd.
Nick Hughes stays in there. Kyle Markway's in. Everybody split out. Helinski goes quickly. It'll be to Josh Vann on the wide receiver screen. Josh trying to push up to about the 49-yard line along that Georgia bench. Man, they ran that one fast, and they caught Georgia off balance.
Yeah, they did, and that's what I mentioned. You can tell it's part of this scheme to do that. Now, throwing it up a little bit. Third down, you want to think about it a little bit longer.
4-yard gain on that play. 3rd and 5 upcoming with 3:02 in the first. Helinski out of the gun, bouncing in the pocket, crossing route. Muse got it. He's at the Georgia 45, down to the 41-yard line. Nick Muse reached out in a crowded area over the middle of the field, snatched it down and gained 11 yards, and Carolina gets its second conversion on this drive.
Georgia's got their transfer making an impact, and we have ours. Muse for us. And that time passed a little high, but Muse is tall, made a great catch, and then set up a good block after he caught it, picked up about 4 or 5 more yards. Nice play, guys.
2:34 clock running in the first quarter. Carolina down 3-0. 9th play of the drive for Helinski's. Looking back over to the sideline. He's got Nick Muse to the right side. Now he'll move him to the left. Georgia shifts that defensive line, and there's some movement. That signals to me Tommy saw a false start for us.
Yeah, a little procedure.
And it is a false start for Carolina. It'll back them up.
Markway, your tight end, lined up in three-point stance, and he moved just a little bit sooner than the play was, or the ball was snapped.
So that's 1st and 15 now at the Georgia 47. Play action from Feaster. Helinski rolling left side, going down the field's got a man. In his arms at the 10, at the pylon. Are you kidding me? Touchdown, Carolina. Touchdown, Brian Edwards from 46 yards out. Helinski, the freshman, just lofted one like he's been playing here for 5 years. And Carolina can go up 7-3 with 1:58 in the first quarter.
Major key to that, Todd, is we moved him out of the pocket. We let him roll out to his left. He faked the run to the right. He had plenty of time to throw. He could have done it, and I think he slowed down a little bit and set his feet, and he just put it right on the button for Edwards in the corner down there and ran it in from about 5 yards out after the completion. Excellent play call. Tremendous execution.
How about that drive, Tommy? 9 plays, 93 yards. And here's Parker White to try to cap it off. Charlton puts it down for him. Nothing better than a hushed crowd at Sanford Stadium. You're darn right. Number 3 in the country, stunned for the moment as Ryan Helinski just took it 93 yards, converted twice. Edwards on one of those, and then the big bomb for a touchdown. And Carolina's up 7-3. Wow.
Now Edwards is our number 1 all-time receiver. He's already done that. He's caught 3 today, I believe, by my quick countdown complete.
1:58 to go in the first quarter. Another good thing about that one, Tommy, is that drive was 3:59, kept our defense off the field again. You got to have that to give these guys in garnet and black on defense a little bit of break. All right, here's Will Tommy with a stunned crowd here early in Athens to kick off. Jamir White and James Cook set back to receive. Tommy runs up, boots it. End over end spinner over the head of White. The Gamecock scoring drive roundup is brought to you by your local South Carolina Beef Council. As we said, 9 plays, 93 yards, 3 third down conversions, 1 by penalty, and a 46-yard strike to Brian Edwards.
Those third down conversions, Todd, were huge. One aided by a penalty that time. But coming into this game, Guys, on the road, again, counting North Carolina, Charlotte, and also Missouri, 21.14% on third down conversions. 3 for 3 on that one. Huge difference.
Remember, Gamecock fans, you can score big this season by enjoying delicious and healthy beef at your next tailgate. Beef, it's what's tailgating. And Swift comes back on the ground right up the middle. DeAndre Smith rushing over to the left side, breaks into the second level and gains 12 yards on the carry. DeAndre cranking it up here. No panic from Georgia. Down 7-3. Jake Fromm, 4 of 5 on the day, 28 yards. Clock running at 1:35 in the quarter. Fromm wipes his hands off. Fakes inside the Swift, pump fake. Now looking left side, throws the ball away. Gets hit just as he lets the ball go. And he wanted to go on a quick slant route, well covered by the Gamecocks.
Yeah, had those throwing lanes covered. We talk about that often, though. When you're in that zone defense, which we dropped off in that time, sometimes you drop that defensive end out of the rush position into the zone, and we had that then, and there was nobody there. Actually, there was a linebacker in the zone, in the passing lane, so he had to just throw it away. He had some pressure coming on him.
After the incompletion, it'll bring up second down and 10 with 1:24 to go. They'll go back to the ground game. Stutter step in the middle from Swift, who gets across the 42 and almost broke the tackle, but Ernest Jones, a part of that. Brunson in there as well, making the stop along with J.J. Gnabare. It's a 5-yard gain on the play and bringing up third down. Boy, get a stop here right before the quarter ends. Give us a break on defense again because of the quarter. 1:01 to go in the first quarter. Sterling, Kinlaw, Kobe Smith, and Wanham up front, the front four. Third down and 5 at Athens. Fromm empties the backfield. Press coverage on the outside by J.C. Horn. Now the backers break out. Fromm looking left side, quickly throws in the edge. He's got his man. Caught right in front of the Georgia bench is James Cook. And that's good for 10 yards. Tommy, I don't know what we're doing there. We didn't get out underneath the throw, and we weren't pressing on it. Too easy for Fromm.
I agree. Looked like we backed off right at the last minute. Was I remember in some type of zone, and we just didn't get over there from the linebacker position fast enough.
Zamir White, the Laurinburg, North Carolina redshirt freshman's in now at tailback. Fromm going under center. Carolina in a 4-man front. Fromm play actions back in the middle of the pocket. Got a deep out route on the outside towards the Gamecock bench. Got his man caught and then knocked down right at the marker around the 38-yard lines. George Pickens from Hoover, Alabama. That's his 13th catch on the season. That one's good for 10 yards. J.C. Horn was covering on the play, and that will end the first quarter. The Gamecocks are up on number 3, Georgia. It's 7-3. The Bulldogs are driving. This is Carolina football from Learfield.
They at least know he's there. They got to play it, and that's one of the things that set up the touchdown. Was he rolled out to his left, Hlinski that is, and he faked the dial, so they had to play him because they know he can run the football, and he's healthy, so that's also a good sign on the offensive side. I think another one, Todd, as you said earlier in the broadcast, is we're keeping their defense, or their offense off the field with that too. Now, defense has got to step it up here and hopefully continue to play pretty well.
6th play of the drive coming up for Georgia as we flip ends of the field. They're heading east now in the close end of it. Swift in the backfield. They'll hand to him. He's bouncing right side, trying to get to the edge. The speedster gets pulled down by Brunson. That's going to be Hornscollar. And TJ didn't have much of a choice there as the speedster Swift tried to turn the corner on him and did so. And he had to grab onto whatever he could. That's going to be a 15-yarder.
Personal foul. Defense number 6. Half the distance to the goal. Automatic first down.
Loud and clear. Thank you. And that'll take it down to the Gamecock 15-yard line.
The speed that time, but also he caught Brunson kind of inside that time. He had no help from the outside, TJ that is. So TJ made a great move to change his route and get out there and make any type of stop.
Fromm with 3 wide receivers set. Stands in the pocket, pump fakes, wants to throw, looking left side. Crossing route in the middle at the 5, got it caught. Well covered and then diving down to the 1-yard line. Man, great play from Fromm and Dominic Blaylock, who had it covered to the right, had it covered to the left, and he came back over the middle in a 14-yard gain. His first and goal for Georgia.
Carolina rushing 4 people that time, but got no pressure on the quarterback, so Fromm just had 2 days to throw it back there, and that's what he does. He's such a tremendous passer, 77% completion coming in, and he's not far off there right now, maybe ahead of it.
He's not thrown an interception this season. And I think they're looking to reset, and they do. They move Blaylock back. He made a great catch and stretched out. I think he was dragging the knee, and they'll move him back out to the 4-yard line. So it's 1st and goal at the Gamecock 4. Wolf sent it tight end. Fromm out of the gun. It'll be DeAndre Swift trying the right side. R.J. Roderick ripping the ball, ripping the player, and pushing him back right at the goal line. Boy, that was a collision between Green, Roderick, and Swift. My goodness.
Yeah, very nicely done that time to just take Swift and push him back, and just a lot of pride that time, a lot of defensive pride by those guys.
Swift again, right side again, into Zach Pickens. Touchdown, Georgia. From 1 yard out, a big collision with Zach Pickens. And Swift had just enough, and the Georgia Bulldogs respond to the Gamecock scoring drive. They start the second quarter. There were 13:35 to go in that quarter. With the extra point, they can make it 10-7. 8 plays, 74 yards. And here's Blankenship to attempt the extra point. Snap it back into that east end zone. Up and good. 10-7. The Bulldogs respond. We'll step away. This is Carolina football from Learfield, IMG College.
He hadn't thrown an interception all year long, which is true, and that's Fromm, of course. He's only been sacked 1 time, too. So it looks like to me, Todd, what I've seen so far, we're not doing a lot of blitzing. We're doing 4-man rush, 3-man rush in different passing situations. But I'm not certain we shouldn't check it up a little bit, bring a corner blitz here and there, do something to maybe put a little pressure on him and maybe have him a sack in his face and knock him down like they're knocking our guy. Now, I may be wrong on that, but looks like from what I've seen so far, that's kind of where we play it. Not saying that's wrong necessarily, but this guy's a target thrower.
This is Dooley Field at Sanford Stadium, and Blankenship to kick off with that 10-7 lead, and it's over the head of Shi Smith and a touchback. Sun Splash Field in a big way. And Athens, Georgia. SEC football at its best. What a setting. Stadium's kind of filled up now, Tommy. Still not as electric as we've heard it here before, but everyone has arrived here in the second quarter.
It has. They finally got here, and no problem there whatsoever. So I'm glad to have them, all those Georgia Bulldogs, here with us.
Tavian Feaster's in, but they spread him out and empty the backfield for Helinski. Throws underneath. Got his man, Brian Edwards, trying to escape from one tackler. Can't do so, but it's still a gain of 6 on the play. Helinski's popping that football, Tommy, right before he throws it, kind of giving away when he's going to release it. Just got to let it go. Good pickup on first down. 2nd down and 4. Carolina coming out of that east end zone. Freshman quarterback claps the hands, calls for it out of the gun. Empty set, quick throw to the outside, not much going. It's caught by Edwards again. And the senior from Conway, South Carolina, gets 2 in a row. This one just for 2 yards. Brings up 3rd down.
Big one right here. We do not want to have Georgia score on us, as they did. They come out here and run 3 and out.
They got 3 tight ends in the ball game, and Edwards, including Chandler Farrell, but they're all split out in an empty set. Watch this one. We can get the play off. Hold up. They stop clockage.
I think Georgia got timeout. Yep.
I think.
Prior to the snap. Timeout, Georgia. First timeout of the half.
I think Kirby Smart realized we had the strangest group of personnel we've ever had out on the field before. We on a 3rd down. Here's Jamar.
So real quick, Helinski seems to be getting in rhythm. He's figured out that the quicker I get this ball out, the less hits I'm going to take. You are correct, though, Todd. He is patting that ball right before he lets it go. Defense hasn't really picked up on it, so hopefully we can go downfield like the way we scored earlier. But these short dink-and-dump passes are helping Helinski get in rhythm.
They're going to spread out quickly here on 3rd down and 2. Thank you, Jamar. Helinski out of the gun, throws quick out routes, got his man marked way at the 40. Nick Buse, number 9, towards the Gamecock bench. A 7-yard gain on the play, and Helinski's slow to get up as he's hit and limping hard. Rico Rico Dowdle's looking at him, so's the official. Helinski looks like he's going to try to go.
Say, if he doesn't go, is it Joyner? Probably not. I think it's Uric.
I don't know.
Maybe?
It might be Uric.
Yeah.
Both of them dressed and played in quarterback this week. He's limping badly,
Yeah, he
Tommy.
looks like he's got a bad ankle right there or something. I'm not sure what happened, but he's not, doesn't seem to be 100%.
Rico Dowdle's in the game. They'll run with him left side. Got some room for Rico, cutting it back at the 45, pushing up to midfield is Rico as he dropped his shoulder down and gained 9 on the play. Second and short upcoming. I keep an eye on Helinski, who continues to favor, looks like his left leg or ankle.
Nice seal that time on the left side by a couple guys pulling.
Feaster's in the game now too, but they'll go back with Rico right side trying to run for that first down. He needs to get to midfield. Looks like they mark it right at it.
Picks up the Carolina first down.
Yes, it is. Gamecock first down.
You know pretty much right now they're going to have to go to running game because Helinski's hobbling back there. We were still able to pick up a first down.
Georgia not set. Helinski going to go to work again. Out of the pocket throws. He's got Rico in the flat. Rico cutting it back towards the middle of the field. Gains a couple before they wrap him up nicely around the ankles. Just a 3-yard gain on the play before the SEC J.R. Reed safety for Georgia makes the play.
Yeah, Ellis caught 8 passes coming into the game for 72 yards.
7th play of the drive. Tavian Feaster's in the ball game. 2 wide receivers left side. Feaster's in the backfield. Helinski seems to work out that pain. It'll be Feaster right side. Good blocking. They track him down from behind. He's going to gain maybe just 1 or 2 on that. So Georgia knows we like to run that play into the boundary, and they were ready for it that time, and brings up another 3rd down.
Yeah, they can tell by formation sometimes who goes in motion, who doesn't go in motion. Good execution that time by Georgia to understand.
3rd down and 6. Helinski out of the gun. Quick throw to the flat. Mark Way trying to get to the marker. He reached out for it around the 39 of the Bulldogs.
A bad spot, I believe. I got to look at that again.
Oh, my goodness, that's a bad spot.
Really a bad spot.
He's on top of the Bulldog player when he reached out.
The only thing that would happen there maybe is his arm went there. Here we go.
They're going for it on 4th down. Helinski under center. Oh, there's movement.
Oh, God.
No. We should have waited on the spot.
Prior to the snap, false start. Offense number 76.
I don't understand.
Everything's 3rd down.
I just don't understand why you rush up like a case like that. I know you're trying to catch him off guard, but it's too close a spot, and this always happens.
And we had it on the sideline.
Yeah, you don't understand. You know, you're under center for the first time in the ball game. I mean, wow.
After the penalty, that brings out Joseph Charlton to punt it and try to back up the Bulldogs. Had it 4th and 1 and may have actually gotten it. Could have waited on the spot. Blaylock set back to receive. It's an end-over-end punt. Blaylock comes up to the 13-yard line. Fair catches it and takes it. Georgia forces the punt. Actually, the Gamecocks force their own punt at midfield. We'll step aside. This is Carolina football from Learfield, IMG College.
But regardless, Helinski and Uric, both of them are warming up with the situation. Not sure which one's coming in, really.
And here's Jake Fromm with a 3-point lead, 2 backs in the backfield. They'll hand off up the middle, though. That's Blaylock. Showing Zamir White going left side. And White goes across the 20 and finally knocking down Zeus with his 2nd big run of the day. This one's good for 12 yards and a Georgia first down.
Well, I'm afraid we're going to really regret that last play for Carolina offensively. This Georgia team is really good in offensively. They seem to be getting into a rhythm themselves. Carolina's defense got to get us a break here somehow.
Fromm takes 3 wide receivers over to the right side. White, the tailback, who came back from an ACL injury in 2018. He's to the left of Fromm. Out of the shotgun, it's White again up the middle, right into the arms of Ernest Jones. And a bunch of Gamecocks pound on him to try to get the stop. And that's a 4-yard gain on the play. And White holding on to that ball even as he gets up. Georgia, ball protection number 1. They don't give it up very often. They just don't make a lot of mistakes. They're not real flashy. But at the end of the day, they drive the football on you and they hit you hard on defense. 2nd down and 6 with 8:44 to go in the 2nd quarter. Fromm's going all the way at quarterback. White to his left. 3 wide receivers under the boundary, but it'll be White again up the middle, trying to run it and grind on the Gamecocks. White gets driven back, but his motion going forward should have a good positive spot that moves the change. It does. Kobe Smith on the stop after a 7-yard gain.
Yeah, they look like they're going to run the football right now. They found where they can hit us a little bit. And let's see.
Fromm empties the backfield now with 5 wide receivers. Looking left side, got plenty of time. Crossing route, ball knocked away. Nicely done by the middle linebacker, Ernest Jones, who got the interception against Kentucky. And the crossing route there is defeated by his moving out on his right paw and knocking it away from Zamir.
Yeah, Zamir was actually had the position on him, but Jones, as Todd described it, came in the last minute and stuck his hand out there with his long arms and got good size, about 6'2". Made a good play.
Swift back in the ball game now. 2nd down and 10 after the incompletion. 10-7 Georgia, number 3 team in the country. Fromm taking his time, claps his hands, now resets. They'll go again. Running the football right at the middle. Here's Swift. He gets tracked down from behind. Good hustle. Kobe Smith wraps those big arms around him. Kobe coming in the game with 10 tackles. And a tackle for a loss makes another one, but people raving about his play as well.
Tell you one thing, he came off that block that time really well, and you kind of looked up here and you said, boy, he's going to be gone, pick up some big yards, but all of a sudden, there's Kobe, so nice play.
3rd down. Gamecocks need to get off the field and get the Bulldogs offense with them. Jake Fromm, number 11 from Warner Robins, Georgia. 3rd and 5, low snap handled, flips it in his hand, throws crossing route. Down the middle of the field, it looks like it's caught around the 42. They'll call the catch and we'll check it. It was right on the turf. J.C. Horn never turned his head for Lawrence Kagger, and that's an 18-yard reception. Boy, let's watch that. That was right off the turf. I think he got it.
I don't know if he did or not. It would be interesting to see what happens on that one, but they're going to probably run it fast here to get it on.
Georgia's no rush so far. Muschamp with no challenge so far. And it does look like a catch on the replay that we see here quickly. So 1st down for Jake Fromm. He'll go back to the air again, though. Pump fake, wants to go down the far sideline. Overshoots his man around the 10-yard line. Blaylock, the intended receiver. George Pickens on that far sidelines. And Fromm hits one and then misses one. And Georgia's tracking on the 8th play of the drive upcoming. J.C. Horn on that coverage as well. Well, the play before, J.C. was in his back pocket, just never really turned on the play.
The moment I say Georgia's getting ready to run the football on us, they throw it 3 times in a row. 4 times in a row.
James Cook back in the ball game after the incomplete pass. They got it in Gamecock territory. They'll swing it out to Cook on the edge, on the outside, and a great play. Sherrod Green pushing through the wide receiver screen block by the tight end Fitzpatrick and makes the stop on the play, -2, and that's going to bring up 3rd down. 3rd and long, about 12 or 13.
That's why they like Sherrod Green out there, because and suppose maybe of a safety or a cornerback, he does tackle well, plays very physical in open space. Good example of it right there.
Well, here's a big one here, a 3rd down and long. We'll call it 12 with 6:30 to go in the 2nd quarter. Georgia up 10-7. They need to try to convert here. Take a tight end, Wolf over to the left side. 4 wide receivers in the game. Snap it back from wide receiver screen quickly outside. And that's Tyler Simmons. And a conservative play on 3rd and long. Net 6 yards.
What they were trying to do, Todd, is get those tackles out there in that play. I think they're still going for it. Georgia is. Yeah, that's no respect for us.
Wow.
Right there. That's what that is.
That's 4th down now. 4th and 6 to go. And they're going for it at the Gamecock 38-yard line. They go wide receiver screen. That was the plan all along, wasn't it, Tommy?
It was, yep.
2 plays, go for it. Fromm sets back in the backfield. 3 snaps. Carolina coming on the blitz. Fromm going down the far sideline. Incomplete. Good coverage on the play by Jamie Robinson, the intended receiver, Demetrius Robertson, and a turnover on downs. The Gamecocks holds. Stick that in your eye, Bulldogs, trying to hit us on 4th down and 6.
Against a freshman, too. Robinson made a great move on that play.
Good. After Georgia can't convert on 4th down, the Gamecocks have got it at their own 38-yard line, and Ryan Helinski comes back out. Our own Jamar Nesbit reported about a knee strain or problems. He's in the ball game. He'll fake it inside, throw it on a wide receiver screen left side, and Shi Smith can't get the edge, and they cut him down. No gain on the play, maybe half a yard or so. And Rico Dattle to the right of Helinski. Carolina trying to go quickly. Clock at 5:12 in the first half. Press coverage on the outside. Helinski in the pocket. Throws quickly to the outside. Got his man. Chavis Dawkins with a catch on the out route. Then moves the chains. Helinski hit again. Pretty good coverage by Georgia, but a rope by Helinski.
I tell you, he didn't get to step forward. He had to throw it flat-footed. Still had enough strength as a true freshman to get it out there, but really taking shots. This kid's tough. He's playing hard. He's playing through pain. You have to. And he's doing a heck of a job with it right now.
Nick Muse into the ball game. Boy, that blitz came right up the middle untouched and hit Helinski after he let it go. He's earning his scholarship today. Rico Dattle will try him right side. Go ahead, Rico, at the 45. 40, another first down into the boundary, and the cutback from number 5, and he gains 13 yards and another Gamecock first down.
Todd, he didn't do that last year or the year before. He didn't cut it. He'd keep on going. Now he seems to see it better. I know he worked hard to get his body in condition. That gives him the confidence to make that cut. Doing an excellent job there.
Move the chains, and they're in Georgia territory at the 38 of the Bulldogs. Helinski out of the gun, one back in the backfield. It's Dattle left side. Rico's got some room. Good block by Nick Muse. Gave him an extra yard or two. We'll call it 3. 2nd down and 7 upcoming. There's 4:06 to go in this half.
I think Gwynn made a good job at right guard pulling to set that block in there too.
Gamecocks have 3 timeouts remaining. 3 wide receivers over the left side. Helinski in the pocket, wants to throw. Quick underneath throw. Incomplete. He gunned it to Nick Muse. It was behind him, too tough to catch. And here comes 3rd down after the incomplete pass. This crowd senses it, Tommy. This is important right here. Tavian Feaster into the ball game now. Shi Smith checks in as well. Gamecocks in white jerseys, garnet helmets, garnet pants. They need a conversion here. They're down 10-7. 3:50 to go in the first half. Motion by Shi Smith. Fake inside. Swing it out to Shi. Shi with a move at the 35. Can't break away. Good tackle by Georgia in the open field. We had it set up perfectly, Tommy. Just could not get Shi quite loose enough. He gained 3, and that's 4th down upcoming.
Yeah, that was our man. Is more a little man, but it wasn't the case that time. The guy made a good defensive play for Georgia, number 1, their defensive back. Wilson made a great defensive play on Smith, and can't say much about that.
All right, here comes on Parker White, who's 7-9 on the season. He's missed only from 50-plus. This will be 50 off the left hash mark to try to tie it up. Sun's shining on him. He wipes the hands, put it back down for him, kick it up. Plenty of long, turning. And good! Quiet the crowd, Parker White. A 50-yard field goal, and it's 10-10. Gamecocks with 3 minutes to go. Tied with number 3 in the first half.
Folks, if you don't think he hit it, that ball went across the crossbar midway up through the whatever you call it. I mean, it'd have been good at 65. Big hit.
Now the Gamecock scoring drive roundup is brought to you by your local South Carolina Beef Council. That was 7 plays, 30 yards, and Parker White knocked down the longest field goal of his career from 50 yards out and tied it up at 10. Remember, Gamecock fans, you can score big this season by enjoying delicious and healthy beef at your next tailgate. Beef, it's what's for tailgating. Oh, hurt me. He crushed that one. That may have been as calm as I've ever seen him step up to the football as well. David Spence and I were talking about him kicking in pregame. It looked good, like it was coming off his foot well.
Well, you know, as I do, Todd, we talked about this on the field before the game and also afterwards up here with Jamar Nesbit, or Ray Tanner rather. That field is about as tight as I've ever seen a full grass or real grass field. I mean, you think it's AstroTurf when you're down there, but it is tight. It is built for speed and built for kicking. So good job there, Parker White and Holder, snapper, whole offensive unit up front blocking.
There's Will Tommy to kick off. Zamir White set back to receive. It's 7 yards deep, and he takes a knee. That's actually Jones who takes it on that play. And the Georgia Bulldogs with their 2 timeouts and 3 minutes to go in the half.
Okay, they're going to come at it right now because number 3 team in the country, again, with this day and time, you got to score points and win big to keep your rankings. And you got a lot of teams in that top 5 or 6 up there that can play and score points and win big. So a lot of big games going on today. We talked about one LSU in Florida.
And they don't want Will Muschamp going to that locker room saying, I told you we could do it. We're playing with them.
They also don't want us recruiting over here. We already got 19 kids on our roster from Georgia anyway.
All right, here's Swift in the backfield. Fromm hands it to him left side. Aaron Sterling's there. Swift drags him for a couple of yards across the 30 for a 5-yard gain on the play. Clock begins to run. James Coley is the offensive coordinator. He actually used to be a grad assistant for Will Muschamp. Been here for a couple of years, but just got the OC job this year. And running it on first down here, tied at 10. Clock's already down to 2:30. Fromm still looking around. 3 wide receivers right side. They got 2 timeouts remaining. Swift up the middle again. Now trying to cut back in the arms
good hit
of the Gamecocks, and they push him back. Maybe no gain on the play. Wanham, Ernest Jones, and Jamar Brown into the game.
Well, Wanham closed it down that time, Todd. He came off his block again. Our guys seem to be using their upper body strength really well, pushing the Georgia's linemen, big as they are, and also keeping your feet in position and still coming off those blocks to make plays.
Down to 2 minutes. 2 minutes left in the half, and third down upcoming for the game. For the Bulldogs. 3rd and 4. Jake Fromm going to empty the backfield. Carolina's got 4 men at the line of scrimmage. Swift split out left side. Fromm in the pocket. Bouncing around. Here comes Sterling. Fromm to throw. Crossing routes. Got his man. Golly.
Wow.
J.C. Horn hanging all over Lawrence Kager, and Fromm hits him and pulls the football down for a 10-yard gain and keeps it going with 1:36 to go in the half. Georgia going quickly. They'll empty the backfield again. Carolina 4-man front. Will Muschamp says timeout. He takes one of his timeouts with 1:30 exactly to go. He didn't like whatever he saw there, or at least didn't want him to get a big chunk there.
South Carolina.
Trying to drive down the field.
Yeah. Horn, an excellent defensive cornerback for the Gamecocks, but they've gone 3 times to him today, and they've beaten him the first 2 times. I think it's fair to say that one was not beaten. He was all over him that time. The ball was perfectly thrown. Receiver went up high above his head and made a good catch on it.
This is a Georgia football team that outscored its opponents in the second half 84-17, +4 in the turnover margin.
Gamecocks right now, Todd, 156 yards in total offense to 185 for Georgia. Passing yards 117 to 92 for Georgia. Rushing yards 39 to 93 for Georgia. So, I guess it is what it is. Third down conversions, which is a key point to this whole thing, is 3 of 6 for Carolina, 4 of 7 for Georgia.
Yeah, a competitive game right now.
Yeah, it is.
All the way around.
It's
That's
kind
what
of
this is.
fun. Kind of great to be here.
The pickup throw there. Kager gets the first down for Georgia. Jake Fromm gets the last-minute instruction. Runs back out on the field.
For the record, I did not come in at 5. I woke up at 5 this morning.
Wait, 30 minutes later, you're making that correction?
Well, I wanted to make sure everybody heard it.
Okay, you're on the record. I think they got that was
Jane
not
was
you.
with me. She was.
1st and 10 now. DeAndre Swift in the backfield. Fromm in the pocket. They push him. He throws to the outside. Got a man on the middle on the curl route. George Pickens with a catch. It's good for 6 yards. His 2nd down and 4 upcoming. 118, 117.
Just keep him in front of us.
Georgia almost to midfield at their own 47. Fromm again working in the pocket. He's under pressure. He's got to throw it late into coverage and picked off. Mukwamu down the near sideline at the 30, at the 20. Run, Mukwamu! In the end zone. Touchdown, Carolina.
Take that, Georgia.
Touchdown, Israel Mukwamu. 53 yards out. Are you kidding me?
First interception for Fromm. We said he may have to have one today, and we got one. That's a 6'4" guy going up and just leaping out of the ceiling to get that thing. And from that point on, it was all white jerseys down there giving him blocking. No one had a chance. That's a shocker right there, folks.
Oh, a red-faced Georgia crowd right now.
Didn't that, son? Carolina's got about 5,000 or 6,000 over here as normal, and they're having fun right now. So it's been a good first half.
Oh, wow. Parker White to attempt the extra point and a shocked Sanford Stadium. He could make it 17-10 with 1 minute to go.
Yeah, you could have a funeral in here now, so quiet.
White looks ready. Snap it to him. Kick it up. Into the net. Tommy Suggs, you're right. He needed every bit of that 6'4" frame to get it. But when he did, he calmly ran down the sideline. He got one block around the 10 and hit that end zone.
The other part of it is you and I couldn't have made that interception.
No, there's no question about that.
You had to be 6'4". He extended his whole body, every inch of his arms to make it. Great play, great run afterwards, too, to stay in bounds.
McCollum's third on the team in tackles. That's his second interception in the first pick 6 of his career. Wow. This Gamecock scoring drive is brought to you by your local South Carolina Beef Council. And that scoring drive is one play.
Todd,
pick 6. Remember, Gamecock fans, you can score big this season by enjoying delicious and healthy beef at your next tailgate. Beef, it's what's for tailgating.
McCwamu gets the credit for that, but let's give Kinlaw. We talked about Kinlaw being a major factor Georgia had to be aware of all day long. He's the one that put the pressure that time on Fromm, that forced Fromm to throw it as a kind of a partial rollout off his back foot. He just slung it up there, and the rest is history, guys. Kinlaw, outstanding day so far today.
Well, Tommy, to kick off, man, this one's high and deep. And taking a knee is James Cook. And this crowd is still stunned. They really have not had any close games except for the Notre Dame game this year, in which Jake Fromm brought the team back in the second half. Other than that, they've been blowing people out, averaging 42 points per game.
We'll have fun in the press area up here with all our Georgia friends. Halftime anyway.
It'll make that popcorn at halftime taste a little better.
Yeah.
All right, let's check him now. Still a minute to go. Georgia's got 2 timeouts remaining. Fromm, with his first interception of the season, steps back out on the field with DeAndre Swift in the backfield. 4 wide receivers, 3 to the right side. Claps the hands, does Fromm. Low snap again, but it's draw play up the middle of Swift. Swift makes a good cut at the 35 in front of Brunson. J.J. Nigbare has to come back and make the stop. He does so after a 13-yard gain, a Georgia first down.
Great call. Good execution for Georgia.
Clock running under 45 seconds now. Fromm pump fakes, wants to go down the field's in some trouble. Steps up in the pockets, trying to gun it, does so late. Got a man down the field, incomplete around the 31. Oh, my goodness. Tommy, we were running around so long back there, we lost eye vision with him. And that was DeAndre Swift way down the field with Brunson. And Fromm missed him around the 31-yard line, just short of it, as Nigbare was tracking him down there, and so was a couple other Gamecocks, including Zach Pickens.
I think Fromm is a cool cookie, no question about it, with all of his experience and leadership, but we get to him a little bit now. He's moving around a little bit back there. He's a little rushed, I think, so we just got to keep that up for this drive and not let him score.
38 seconds remaining in the half. Cook's in the backfield. Fromm in the pocket. Another pump fake going down the field. Long, intended and overthrown. He wanted to get past Horn. There's a collision around the 25-yard line. No shock the Georgia fans want to call. That ball was gunned way past the intended wide receiver on the play.
Well, the other thing, I think Horn had him downfield covered, and the guy just ran into him. So I don't think that's really a call that time. And Horn threw his hands up like I didn't do anything.
That's Tyler Simmons streaking down the far sideline. And here comes third down with 31 seconds remaining for Fromm. Let's see if Kinlaw can make another play. Is big number 3 in there in the moment? I think he is. He put the pressure on that forced the throw, and Mukwamu pick 6. Fromm out of the gun. Stepping back in the pocket, pump fake, going crossing routes, got his man for a first down right at the Gamecock 49-yard line. Lawrence Kager with a catch. They were draped all over him. Good play by Georgia before T.J. Brunson and Horn made the stop. 13-yard gain. Georgia first down with 25 seconds remaining, and the Bulldogs take a timeout.
I'm surprised they got that thing off. I'd love to see that again. I looked up there, and that clock was on 0, and they hadn't snapped that ball yet. So, I mean, they got a break on that one. That should have been delay of game.
They're at midfield. Rodrigo Blankenship has hit a long of 50 this year, Tommy. That's what Parker White has hit as well. So they got some work to do with what will now be one timeout remaining at 25 seconds.
Well, I think the thing our football team's got to realize going at halftime, and I'm sure they will, because they'll be obviously reminded of it by Coach Muschamp, is no matter what happens from here on in, we're going to be tied with the third team in the country, number 3 team in the country. We're playing well, made some mistakes, got to adjust some things, but we're playing a good football team right now in good football games. So we can play with these guys. 25-point deficit coming in, supposedly spread. So this is a big confidence builder for us. I just hope Helinski's okay. I mean, he's limping around a lot, so that really limits what we can do. Maybe even so much fans that we can't do the rollouts because he can't get out there. So we're going to throw the ball. We got to do it a drop back, and that's going to tell them just tee off on him. He's not mobile back there either, so that's a problem, I think, going forward.
Well, we need to stop right here. It'd be great to hold them, even if it's just a 3, but they got some work to do with 25 seconds to go in the half. One timeout remaining. They have it just on the Gamecock side of the field at the 49. Fromm splits out wide receiver over to the right side. DeAndre Swift's in the backfield. His tight end moves over to the right side. Carolina in a 4-man front. Here they come. Fromm in the pockets, under pressure. Drop! Sacked around the 44-yard line. It just collapsed on him. Oh, my goodness. -7 on the play. Give it to everybody. Kinlaw, Wanham, Sterling, all pressuring that pocket and turning it inside.
Timeout. Georgia, third and final timeout of the half.
Todd, Kinlaw is having a field day.
Absolutely eating them up. Look at him walk to that sideline. Like, mess with me. This is my turf today. And that's another All-American Heating and Air sack for Soldiers. For that sack and every other sack recorded by the Gamecock defense this year, All-American Heating and Air will donate $100.
Number 11 may re-enter the game. Although his helmet came off, Georgia took a timeout, and he's eligible to play the next down.
They support our veterans. Thank you, All-American Heating and Air.
We talked about both lines had to play well. We've already talked about the Carolinas offensive line. The defensive line we've spoken of too, but a key factor is Jake Fromm coming in here did not have an interception all day. He gave one up to us because our guys up front, Jadavian Kinlaw specifically, was pressuring him, and he threw the interception. Come in with a great interception and ran it back for a touchdown. The other thing is Georgia gave up 1 sack, Todd, coming in this game. We've had 2 today already. So that, again, we're getting them out of their norm, putting some pressure on them they hadn't seen all year long. So let's see if we can contain that here at the end of the first half and also the second half.
No timeouts remaining for Georgia. 20 seconds to go in the first half. They're down 17-10. Fromm in the pocket. Throwing towards the Georgia bench, got his man. Turning and spinning at the 39 is George Pickens. Open on the deep comeback route. They move the crowd up. It's a 19-yard gain. They're trying to give Blankenship a chance. They do not have any timeouts remaining. They can spike, and they do so. He strikes with 10 seconds remaining.
Now you're in a big question if your defense.
You're darn right they are.
Yeah, but also if you're defensive coordinator, you've got to make a decision. Are you going to rush? You can put a blitz on them, drop back in a soft zone. What are you going to do here? Because it's a guessing game for your defensive coordinator as well. Do you rush or not rush? Again, I think we've got him shaking a little bit. I'd love to see us just try to blitz him one time and not rush 3 people, but it looks like we're going to do the normal thing you would do, and that is probably rush 3, maybe 4 with Wanham lining up.
Well, they need to pick up a couple yards quickly. Fromm out of the pocket, stutter step, throws towards the bench, incomplete. So they do not pick up any more yards. An incomplete pass, 6 seconds remaining, and that's going to bring out Blankenship as they intended to throw to Charlie Warner. Put Kinlaw back in there. He's blocked one already this year. Get number 3 back in there. He is.
And that time we decided to rush 4. We had Wanham lined up his number 8 defensive end over there, and he decided to rush, not drop out. So that forced Fromm to throw it a little earlier than he wanted to.
It's a 53-yard field goal attempt off the right hash mark. The long of the year for Blankenship. Down 17-10, timeout, Will Muschamp. Blankenship, one of the more recognizable players, especially for a kicker in all of college football. He wears those black glasses.
Second timeout.
He used to get teased for, but now he's kind of a star stud that they've got on the football field, and all he's done is become one of the favorite players and scoring leaders in Georgia history.
Speaking of that, glasses can clearly set your image for you. And I want to congratulate Ray Town. He had some new glasses on. Said he can't see anymore. So
we know a little bit about that ourselves, don't we?
We do. But he looked very astute in those glasses.
Yes, he did.
Came in.
All right, here's the situation. Carolina's up on number 3, Georgia, 17-10. 6 seconds remaining. No timeouts for Georgia. Lining up for the longest field goal of this year for Blankenship, a 50-yarder off the right hash mark. He hit a 55-yarder against Oklahoma. This one will be from 53. And Will Muschamp calling another timeout.
Timeout, South Carolina. Third and final timeout of the half. This will be a 30-second timeout.
What he's doing is getting Javon Kinlaw some wind so he can push that crowd back and step in there and knock this down.
There's so many decisions you have to make as a head coach, Todd. You know where I'm going here is you call that one or you don't call it. And what ends up happening is the kicker, Blankenship, anticipates you're going to call it, so he hesitates a little bit, waiting on it, and it just gets him out of rhythm. But I think you're probably right on what you said is really you can give Kinlaw a little more time to get catch his breath. That's probably more valuable than messing up with the kicker.
Well, neither team has a timeout now. And so, this will be it.
Be big for Georgia if they make it. Be big for Carolina if they miss it.
Camarda, the punter, is the holder. Steve Nixon is the snapper. Blankenship with his heels right on that big G. 53-yard field goal attempt off the right hash mark. Carolina's up 17-10. They snap it back. Blankenship gets it blocked. Gets it blocked at the line of scrimmage. You darn right. Number 3 got it. Wanham and number 3, Javon Kinlaw, blocked it. Look at the Gamecocks go to the locker room.
Tell you, Todd, the other thing here, think about this. We've seen a lot of first here.
Here's Jamar Nesbit with Will Muschamp.
Coach, you weather the storm against number 3 and you're leading 17 going in. You got a hobble quarterback. How can we protect him a little bit better going forward?
Well, again, we got to do a little better job. They've added on some green dogs where they're adding in on our protection.
Greg, thank you so much. We're glad to give you some decent highlights here between Georgia and South Carolina. As Carolina, as you just mentioned, up on the number 3 team in the country, and they get the football. They won the coin toss and deferred. And Blankenship will come out for the Georgia Bulldogs out of that east end zone. Dogs in red jerseys, red helmets, silver breeches. Carolina in the white jerseys, garnet pants and helmet today. And Shi Smith set back to receive. He's got a 19.2-yard average, but neither of these guys have gotten a chance to return kicks today. Second half is underway. End over end kick high. Shi going to let it bounce over his head about midway through the west end zone here at Dooley Field, Sanford Stadium. Carolina will take over. Ryan Helinski, who's been banged up a little bit in the first half, but came on strong. Hobbles back out on the field a little bit. When I say this, everybody knows I will say this in a very favorable manner. He's running more like Steve Spurrier now than Steve Spurrier, the Heisman Trophy winner. Isn't that right, the way he's moving, Tommy?
Yeah, I agree with that, yeah.
Helinski out of the shotgun, handoff into the boundary. Gattle across the 30, 35, 40.
Wow.
Rico Gattle all the way up to the 42-yard line. Oh, he found that seam again, left side, and goes 17 yards and gets a Carolina first down.
I tell you, Gwen is the redshirt freshman at right guard is doing a heck of a job pulling down the line and sealing the block on the left side. So outstanding job by him.
Brian Edwards in the slot over to the right side. Tight end to the left is Muse. He'll come now and sit down on the right side. Pistol formation, handoff, Daddle left side, into the line, drops the shoulder down, pushes across the 45 and churning almost up to about the 47 or 48. We'll call it a 5-yard gain on the play. 2nd and 5 upcoming.
Todd, one of the things we've got to be doing right now in our thought process and is not be afraid to win this football game. And what I mean by that, and that sounds crazy, but sometimes you do that. You get to a point, you draw it back a little bit. Can't do that in this game. It looks like right now we're doing well.
Helinski out of the gun, fakes. The run play to Daddle, tries to throw the quick screen outside to Brian Edwards, and a leaping defender, Eric Stokes, came up from the outside and batted the ball down. That'll bring up 3rd down and 5. Just a good play on Georgia. Helinski with the right move to pull the football, I think. Just got to get it around him somehow. Pretty tough to do it in that situation.
I think a mobile Helinski may have done that. He may have tried to move away and sidearm it, but he couldn't do it that time. We got to watch that this entire second half. Is how does his injury hobble him or protect or prevent us from calling certain plays, him doing certain things out there.
Helinski's got 3 wide receivers over to the right side and Daddle. He wants to go quick screen play. Ball's batted up in the air and knocked down. Almost picked off at the line of scrimmage. It was tipped. There's a fight for it around the 45 of the Bulldogs. And it, thank goodness, hit the turf. And that brings up 4th down, though. So Carolina almost gets to midfield. And the Bulldogs, I look like Johnson, the outside backer, is the one that batted it up in the air. Here's Joseph Charlton to come on to punt.
Just a tad late throwing at that time, but I promise you he's limping off the field. Helinski's hobbled. That's going to be a problem.
Joseph Charlton booms one, end over end wobbler. Coming over to get it, it's Blaylock. And he takes a fair catch right at the Georgia 10-yard line. So a 43-yard punt. No return on the play. The Bulldogs hold at midfield and force the punt, but they trail the Gamecocks 17-10. We're going to check down with Jamar Nesbit in just a couple of moments. Let him get a further look at Helinski, maybe try to find out on our Prisma Health injury report his status going forward. Yeah, when one of the biggest plays he's made today is rolling out and throwing it, you hate to take that out of his repertoire.
I think it's gone from what I see.
All right, here's Jake Fromm. His team down 7. James Cook goes in motion over to the right side, but he'll hand off to Swift, left side. Swift got the edge and broke the tackle of T.J. Brunson, but Carolina got over there in time to hold it to a 3-yard gain. Brunson almost had enough of the ankles to get him down for a loss.
Yeah, good move by Swift that time to pick the feet up a little bit, but boy, Brunson had him back there for a loss, as Todd called it, and just didn't make the play.
Swift's averaging 7 yards a carry so far this season. Not quite that today. Now Zamir White, the redshirt freshman, comes in to sub. The tailback to the right of Fromm. Now to the left as he shifts over and resettles. Fromm, 2nd down and long. Hands off up the middle, and the Gamecocks are there again.
Boy, I thought we had a quick movement that time by the right guard of Georgia, but they didn't call it.
They hold it to a 2-yard gain. Kobe and Dennis Wanham in on the stop. Kobe Smith. Georgia's gotten to the edge, but it hadn't been up the middle much on the Gamecocks.
That's because
and here comes a 3rd down.
That's because number 3's up there and number 95's up there, and some of those stud boys.
3rd down and 6. Georgia down 7 of the Gamecocks. 12:39 to go in the 3rd quarter. Fromm out of the gun. Got 4 wide receivers. Here's a blitz up the middle by the Gamecocks. Fromm in the pocket, looking for a crossing route. Throws over the head of his intended receiver, and there's a flag on the play. What in the world could that have been?
Gosh, I don't know where that came from.
There was nobody near him.
They should have held him a lot earlier.
This was another
against an eligible receiver, number 29 on the defense.
JT eBay.
Yards from previous spot.
Boy, that's
an automatic first down.
Wow.
I just watched him completely on the replay. eBay was tracking Wolf across the middle. Boy, you come to Athens, you got to bring everything you got because it's against you, I promise you. JT eBay called for the holding on Eli Wolf, who's running across the middle. The ball wasn't even intended to them. Zamir White is in the backfield now after the penalty and 1st down. Gamecock still in the field, and Fromm throws a quick pass into the slot. He's got his man. Pushing in across the 35-yard line is Demetrius Robinson. A 12-yard gain on the play, and another 1st down for Georgia. That would have gotten us off the field. Rested this defense even more. Got
to get somebody in that little quick passing lane like Georgia did the last time we had the ball.
All right, first down for Fromm now. Finds himself at his own 36-yard line. 3 wide receivers to the right side. White's the back. Hand to him. Sprint draw up the middle. My goodness, Ricky Sandage puts his big paw inside and drops him down on the play. A 1-yard gain. Sandage just ate up that right guard and came in and took down the back, the redshirt freshman. 2nd and 9 upcoming. Boy, if we get plays like that out of him.
The Georgia fans a little upset. They think his face mask. I don't think it was. It looked like he grabbed a helmet, but not the face mask.
Just because your forearm covers up a guy's full head and you're that big. All right, Fromm under center, a little unusual. Sprint draw left side. Not going very far is White, who's covering up the football going that way. A 2-yard gain on the play. Here comes the 3rd down for the Dogs. They converted last time on a penalty.
36 from the 41.
I think both of us in this drive have had, this game rather, have had 2 third-down conversions due to penalties, so try to watch that going forward.
Georgia's 5 of 8 on 3rd down to Carolina's 3 of 7. Fromm's going to empty the backfield. 5 wide receivers. Swift is split out to the left side. Fromm with a low snap, handles it. Pocket's coming. Big Nick Ballray's coming. Fromm throwing late down the sideline. And let's see if they call it. Incomplete.
Way out of, yeah.
On the Gamecocks bench. Good pressure by the Gamecocks and good coverage downfield. Forces an errant throw. J.J. Ignebarre was the Gamecock pressuring on Fromm, and here comes the punting unit.
Ignebarre has made 2 or 3 really good plays already in this second half, and that's a great one right there. He gets away. Georgia's offensive line, we tell you, is like the largest they've ever had here, but they may not be as quick as we anticipated because our guys are doing a good job getting to the quarterback here.
Brian Edwards set back at the 15-yard line. Ladra to punt it away. Puts his foot into it, tries to angle it away from Edwards. Edwards runs up. Ball bounces at the 3 and into the end zone. Touchback on the play. Good job, Brian, selling that one around the 15-yard line. It's a 59-yard punt. And we're still at 17-10 Carolina with 10:24 to go in the third. This is Carolina football from Learfield, IMG College. Both teams faltering in their first drives of the second half, and the score remains 17-10 Carolina. Ryan Helinski has been banged up. He was in the first half, finished a drive at half, and we've been keeping a close eye on him. But number 3 comes back out onto the field now as Gamecocks take over at their own 20-yard line. Feaster's in the backfield, and looks like there's movement. False start for Carolina.
False start on the offense, number 84. 5-yard penalty, remains first down.
Tommy, we got lucky with the punt rolling in the end zone to get to the 20-yard line. But then to have the movement, that's the kind of thing you can't do on the road.
You can't. 60% of our penalties so far this year have come on the road. So can't do that here anywhere.
All right, a backed up Gamecock offense. Feaster in the backfield. Markway comes in motion right side. Helinski out of the gun. Wide receiver screen to Shi Smith. Shi's hit immediately. 2 Georgia players are all over him. Nobody blocking. Helinski not much on the throw. It was high. That's -5. It's going to bring up 2nd and 20. Travis Dawkins goes over to the left side. Edwards over to the right. Shi in the slot.
We got to stretch the field, Ty. We're not stretching the field. They just closing us down. We got to throw deep.
Shi comes in motion behind Helinski. Handoff, Feaster right side. Feaster trying to cut back at the 10. Good pursuit by Georgia. And here comes 3rd down. And the nickel defense in total for Georgia, plus a couple pass rushers.
We've run 1 deep pattern. That was a touchdown. Other than that, we really haven't stretched that field out there. We do that occasionally. We get in a rhythm where we just throw it underneath and do some 10 and 15-yard, 20-yard routes. We got to go deep. We got to go deep, loosen this thing up a little bit and throw it up. Hopefully we get a pass interference call or something.
We got a tight package here for Helinski. Blitz. Ryan Edwards, wide receiver screen. Brian breaks the tackle. Flag on the play, and they hit Helinski late, and he's down again, Tommy.
Yeah,
looks like he's hurt bad.
Personal foul.
Shoulder.
Roughing the passer with low contact. Defense number 19.
Oh, that's horrible. We don't do that.
15-yard penalty, previous spot. Just tacked on the end of the run, first down.
Edwards is down too, folks.
Edwards
We got
right here.
two of our best ones down right now. Doggone it.
Nobody even sees Edwards. Now they got the staff coming over.
Okay. Joyner's out all week.
Welcome back to Dooley Field at Sanford Stadium. Drama as the Gamecocks were all over the field, injured in the play before. Brian Edwards on the near sideline. He popped up and made his way over to the Gamecock bench, but Ryan Helensky had to be helped up. The freshman quarterback was hit late and low. They called the penalty, and now DeKerion Joyner, the redshirt freshman from North Charleston, comes in at quarterback. Out of the gun, he'll hand off. Right side, Feaster cutting back at the 30 up to about the 31-32, a gain of 1 or 2 yards on the play before Rice, the linebacker for Georgia, makes the stop.
Todd, we've said a couple of times, I particularly have, but maybe more than that Helensky has taken a lot of shots. Well, he's taken a lot of them after the whistle, too, in my opinion, late. And when Muschamp was walking off, he held his hand up 4, and to the official, like that's the 4th time. So you got to stop that, Georgia.
Pistol formation, Josh Vann. There's a flag on the play. Looks like there's motion. And not a good start for the Gamecocks on this drive, and DeKerion Joyner.
Offense number 50. 5-yard penalty. Remains second down.
The other thing these officials got to call that. They got to protect the quarterback some. And, it's just he's taking some horrible shots today, and hopefully he can come back. But
let's go down to Jamar. Jamar looks a little unsettled right now.
A little unsettled, and a lot of emotion going on. Number 89, Edwards, just had his ankle retaped. Looked like he'd be trying to come back in the game.
All right, thank you. DeKerion Joyner now feeling all alone out there. And they're going to roll him left side. He'll throw out in the flat behind Josh Vann. Incomplete. Pressuring on Joyner and Vann. It was thrown behind him, but there was a man there for the Bulldogs as well. And that'll bring up third down. 3rd and 15 for the Gamecocks. They lead it 17-10, but it feels real precious at the moment. Feaster's the tailback. 3 wide receivers, including Markway, split out left side. Josh Vann all alone to the right, split out. Joyner, shotgun snap. Draw play, right side, Feaster. Across the 30, 35, 40. First down, Carolina, all the way up to the 44-yard line. What a play call from Brian McClendon. On 3rd down and 15, he gained 17 and a Carolina first down.
Tremendous play call, good execution up front. Gave Georgia some of their home medicine because they ran it with Swift in the first half. We go back to Dowdle. Great call that time, guys, and let's just calm it down and move on down and get some more points.
Good sense of getting that first down by Feaster. The 7th play of the drive. It's been back and forth with some penalties. And here's Joyner with Dowdle in the backfield. They'll run Rico to the left side. Not much going at all this time. Nice play from the down man, Michael Barnett. Michael's been giving the inside of that Gamecock offensive line problems today when they have stopped him. All right, stacked wide receivers each side for Joyner. Quickly runs it. Wide receiver screen to Josh Vann. Josh at the 45. He's into Georgia territory to the 49-yard line. It's a 7-yard gain on the play. We need that out of number 6, Tommy. He's got to make more catches and runs. And that time he gets us to a 3rd down and short situation.
It was a perfect call against the defense of Georgia because there was no one out there on Vann. So once he caught it, Joyner did a good job of getting it to him quickly. Stanley did a good job getting the snap back, and it was a good play.
3rd down and 2 for the Gamecocks at midfield. DeKerion Joyner in for Helensky. Out of the shotgun, wants to throw it. Quick slant route, incomplete. Looked like it was tapped at the line of scrimmage. You wanted Josh Vann. Surprised at the play call there, Tommy, with 2 yards to go. It was a long 2. But Joyner could not make the completion, and here comes Joseph Charlton to punt it away.
Looks like he had Dowdle open out in the flat, too, but clearly the number 1 receiver was Vann that time, and he was, anyway, didn't complete it.
It either came off his hand funny or was hit right at the line of scrimmage, but it was behind Josh Vann. All right, Joseph Charlton steps up to punt. He kicks the toe of it, and it's going to go over the head at the 5-yard line. The Gamecocks don't get behind it again, and it rolls in the end zone for a touchback. A 49-yard punt. It'll come out to the 20-yard line. Gamecocks lead it with 6 operating for over 40 years by South Carolina alumni John Morganelli, providing friendly customer service and a knowledgeable staff. No matter where you're going, Morganelli's is on the way. Thanks for being with us. This is the Gamecock Sports Network from Learfield. IMG College, Tommy Suggs, Jamar Nesbit. I'm Todd Ellis. And we've got a stunner going on in Athens. 17-10 Gamecocks over number 3 Georgia. But Ryan Helinski, the freshman quarterback, out of the ball game in the last series. We'll check on him in just a moment. Jake Fromm takes over, and he'll run the football straight up the middle. And he does so with Zamir White. White found a hole over that left side. And DJ Wanham and him tangle up, but he gains 7 on the play as he churns in between the hash marks. 28-5 as the starter is Jake Fromm, including 9-5 versus top 25 teams. He started an FBS straight best 33 games. He's gone all the way today, although he's been pressured, twice sacked. There's a 5-man front now for Carolina, and Fromm trying to change things up with 2 wide receivers right side. And they'll sprint, draw it up the middle, and he's hit in the backfield. Ricky Sandage on a hit in the backfield for no gain on Zamir White. And the Bulldog offensive line is getting whipped up front right now.
He was like a cat that time. He came off so quick.
Man, if Ricky can give you about 15 plays a game, it can change everything up front. He's made 2 big ones today. DeAndre Swift's back in the ball game, but all of a sudden it's 3rd down. 3rd and 3 for Georgia on their own 27-yard line. A little bit of cloud cover now. Swift out of the gun. Fromm looking left side, backside shoulder throw. It's caught right at the marker. Mukwamu's there, and so is George Pickens into coverage. Fromm threw it, and Pickens did a good job of pulling it down. A 6-yard gain on the play and a Georgia first down.
Okay, big-time throw that time. Good protection. Well, although Carolina was closing in on him a little bit, but Pickens just a really good receiver. Made an excellent catch.
Yeah, back shoulder throw. And Mukwamu battled for it, but Georgia won on that one. So fresh set of downs for Fromm, who's got it his own 32, in between the 32 and 33. Working out of the shotgun, fakes inside. He's back in the pocket, cranks up, in trouble. Jake Fromm's going down again for the 3rd time today. Ricky Sanders is part of it. Wanham's part of it. Kobe Smith's part of it. -4 on the play.
Fromm took a little lick that time, too. A little slow getting up. Kind of lucky. Got dazed a little bit. Probably dazed because he's never seen so many white shirts so close to him back there. But they're all over him. Good stuff up front.
That's another All-American Heating and Air sack for Soldiers. For that sack and every other sack recorded by the Gamecock defense this year, All-American Heating and Air will donate $100 to support our veterans. Fromm now on 2nd down and long after the loss. Checking things over, 2nd and 14 from his own 29, under 4 minutes in the 3rd quarter. Snap count, low snap is to Fromm. Throws underneath, got his man
Wow.
immediately. TJ Brunson with a lick on DeAndre Swift, who's got to readjust his shoulder pads and his jersey, probably his teeth. That's a 6-yard gain on the play. Here comes 3rd down. Gamecocks asserting themselves physically right now, but they still got to get off the field with that 7-point lead. 3rd and 8 for Fromm. Look at Fromm. He's stretching that neck out left and right. He may be dinged up, Tommy, as you pointed out. 2 wide receivers right side. 4-man front for Carolina, including Kinlaw right over the center standing up. Fromm under pressure from Wanham. Slides to his left, now back to his right. There's a penalty flag on a holding. And the ball thrown towards the Georgia bench, incomplete. So it's going to be holding an incomplete pass. Oh, Wanham was in there on a flash.
On the offense,
A double good.
Penalty is declined. 4th down.
Okay, Todd, let's credit the defensive secondary and the linebackers now who are getting a little bit better, anticipating the routes and in those throwing lanes. So Fromm doesn't have anyone to throw to. The defensive backs playing pretty well right now, too. So, therefore, the guys up front putting pressure on them. It's a nice combination right there that seems to be confusing Fromm a little bit.
There's Shy Smith at Gamarda's punt. It's a low wobbler. Shy comes over to the near sideline, lets it bounce at the 21. It settles in around the 17. And nobody touches it until a Georgia Bulldog player comes over and puts his hand on it. DeKerion Joyner's coming back in at quarterback. On the season, he's 6 of 11 passing for 89 yards. He was not available for Kentucky because of a hamstring injury. We still don't know, and he probably doesn't know, how that hamstring would affect him if he ran the football a bunch. So you got a guy who's got limited time out on the field and maybe limited skill set because of his hamstring. And DeKerion steps back out on first down with Brian Edwards back in the ball game. Snap it back to him. Joyner looking right side, throws out to Dowdle. In the flat at the 20, Enrico crawls down the sideline to the Georgia bench and gains 5 on the play. Good start on first down for DeKerion.
Very composed, nice snap back from Stanley, which helps a lot of that quarterback position. He looked down at that slant. The slant was not there. Went out to Dallas where it's supposed to work.
Josh Smith split out to the left side. Dowdle in the backfield, pistol formation. Edwards to the right. Now Dowdle slides up right beside DeKerion. Handoff, Dowdle left side, trying the edge where they cut him down pretty quick. He was behind that pulling guard. I don't think he gained anything on that one. We'll call it third down upcoming, 3rd and 5 as Monty Rice smelled out that sweep play.
Sometimes the Gwen on that pulling guard position is able to seal that and make a good block for him. That time it didn't happen.
DeKerion empties the backfield. And the Georgia crowd's going to work on the young quarterback. Georgia's still flipping around. Stanley snaps it back. DeKerion in the pocket, in some trouble. Scrambles out left side at the 20. DeKerion right at the marker, can't get there. He's going to be about a half a yard short on a 4-yard run.
That guy might go for it.
Oh, hush your mouth, Tommy Suggs.
I don't think that's going to happen.
I know I'm feeling good about it right now, but maybe more so about the defense.
That time, Joyner looked okay, but maybe right at the last, I could tell, didn't quite have that little zip, a little cutting ability that we've seen in the past at practice and also in a few games. But regardless, Helinski could have never made that play with his.
This was about the spot on the field where a guy named Melvin Ingram got the fake, and they do not do so here as Charlton boots one away. It's a wobbler. Blaylock takes it, fair catch at the 21-yard line, and have it cleanly. Little cloud cover here. And Georgia's feeling a little blue right now. They're down 7 after the 51-yard punt. And Jake Fromm will come back out on the field. They found some success running the ball, Tommy, a couple times, particularly to the edge, but with no consistency with Georgia right now.
That's right. I don't know what's happening there, except our guys are really playing well up front, and that's causing them some confusion and some problems. And we'll see if it continues, and hopefully it does.
James Cook into the lineup this time. They rotate these backs. This one's from Miami, Florida. Came in with 2 touchdowns with just 9 carries. Robertson goes in motion over to the right side. Fromm out of the guns, in the pocket, wants to throw it. Got some time, throwing down the middle on a post patterns in coverage. Oh, are you kidding me? Look at that catch. Oh, my gosh. Pickens with another great catch. He is draped by 2 Gamecocks, including Ernest Jones. It was not a good decision by Fromm. He gets lucky in a 33-yard gain.
Wow.
Out of the shotgun, 4 wide receivers. Fromm quickly underneath, got his man again. The tight end this time, he breaks away. No, that is Tyler Simmons, the wide receiver, makes the catch, and good for 8 on that. And now Fromm's trying to hurry up his football team. He wants some pace to this offense. Boy, Pickens, credit him with the catch.
Yeah,
John, a defense trying to get set. Up the middle is Cook towards the Gamecock bench, cutting it back. Still turning inside the 20-yard line as the flag on the play. Thrown back towards the Gamecock bench around the 31-yard line. Hold on.
They're all coming back, Georgia included.
Holding on the offense, number 74. 10-yard penalty for spot of the foul. Second down.
Ben Cleveland, backup offensive lineman, with the holding on a 20-yard run negated. And that was good patience by James Cook, but he got the benefit from his offensive line holding on the play. And that brings up second down, 2nd and 7. Ball spotted on the Gamecock 41-yard line. They lead it, the Gamecocks, with 13 seconds to go in the third, 17-10. Find me a hero. Let's go. Fromm out of the shotgun. Fake inside. Quick slant to Robertson's. Caught at the 31. Trying to rip the football out of Mukwamu. Can't quite do that. It's a first down, Georgia. And that'll run the third quarter. When we come back, the Gamecocks are up on number 3, Georgia, 17-10. But the Bulldogs have got the ball inside Carolina's third, right around the legs as you're striding forward. I've been a victim of that. I don't know that it's that bad, but it did look like something for a guy who was already limping and hurting, tough to come back on.
No question about it. And you just got to call on your other guys. That's the way you recruit well, and then we recruit hard. So we'll just see what happens. But Carolina's defense right now has got to come back and play well. This has been a great team effort so far, so we just got to close this baby out and not be afraid to win it. Go get it, guys.
DeAndre Swift's in the ball game. Fromm looks like he's going to get under center. He's got 3 bunch receivers to the right side, 1 to the left. Oh, there's a fumble right around the center. Carolina's got the football, a turnover. Jake Fromm with a center exchange fumble. And T.J. Brunson swipes in there to get it. That's how you start a fourth quarter on the road. Carolina football. Boom. Oh, my goodness. It looked awkward from the first second he got under center.
I'd go deep right now. I'd throw it as far as I could throw it. Just stretch him.
DeCarrion Joyner may do just that. Let's see, he's going to come out on the field. Looks like take Tavian Feaster. Feaster and Daddle both had over 100 yards against Kentucky. A little bit tougher today. But Carolina still with 85 rushing yards. Joyner's in a quarterback with Helinski. And they'll run it left side. Feaster trying to cut back, does so. Nice little move, gets him up to about the 31 or 32. If he'd have stretched it out, he was in trouble on the edge. And that's a 3-yard gain on the play on first down.
Yeah, better than nothing that time. And Feaston did a good job to run with his eyes up and pick up as much as he could. But
Joyner going quickly, Shi Smith over to the left side. Georgia's going to blitz. Joyner in some trouble, gets out of trouble. Going to run at the 30. The carry on one move, drops the shoulder for the first down. He needed to get to about the 40, and he's still going. We got one quarterback on the roster, and he's dropping his shoulder down. And we got an injured Gamecock.
Looks like it's Hutchinson, the left offensive tackle.
Is it 54 or 50?
I think it's 50, I believe, Todd. But yeah,
Joyner just reckless with his body gets the first down on the play. It is Darius Hutchinson. And we'll take time out as they work on. That's what a bright, clear Salisbury day is all about. Right now, we got a clear path to victory. If we can hold on here with a 17-10 lead with 14-19 to go in the ball game. Rico Daddle's in the backfield with the carry on Joyner. His sub for an injured Ryan Helinski.
Number 31 for South Carolina is now wearing number 60. 31, South Carolina is now wearing 60.
Yeah, Chandler Farrell, who plays tight end for us and occasionally will play tackle, is coming to line up or is wearing that. To carry on Joyner on 1st and 10. Handoff, Daddle straight up the middle. Big pile, not much going. We'll call it 2 on the play. 2nd down and 8 upcoming. And Carolina's going quick with the carry-on, calling some plays. Nick Hughes lines up, and he didn't get set. There's a flag on the play. Come on to carry on.
God knows, I tell you guys, that's our 7th penalty. Can't do that anytime, much less on the road against the number 3 team in the country.
All start offense. Not all 11 players were set for a full second. 5-yard penalty. Still 2nd down.
I mean, that's no one's fault but the quarterback there.
Yep.
Nick Hughes is trying to get out there as fast as possible. And the carry-on never looked. But we're playing with a kid who just got his first SEC road game ever.
Yeah, he's doing a heck of a job.
Snaps, or at least in any major role.
Heck of a job out of North Charleston, Fort Dorchester High School. Doggone, we love him.
2nd down and 13 after the penalty. Pistol formation. Joyner rolls out in the flats. Turns and throws down the field for Shi Smith. He's hit as he throws. It's incomplete on that Georgia bench. Good pressure that time. Off the edge by Jermaine Johnson on Joyner. And here comes 3rd down and 13. Sun shining again here. at Sanford Stadium.
Both teams today have made critical penalties, Todd, at different times of the game, offensively and defensively. And let's see if Carolina right now can respond to that one. He just did.
Each team with 3 timeouts remaining. Still early in the fourth. Georgia's sensing much here as DeCarrion empties the backfield, splits out Rico Dowdle. 4-man front, they blitz off the edge. DeCarrion in some trouble, escapes out right side, throws it to Shi Smith late. And DeCarrion couldn't get away from the last man, and there'll be a punting situation for the Gamecocks.
Hey, what a great job he did just to get rid of that ball, though, because the official right there, not grounding at all. He was outside the pocket. He can do that. Plus, he had a receiver downstairs, too. But really did a very athletic move. Also, number 4 for Georgia did a good job with that, too.
Yeah, Nolan Smith had a corner blitz and flushed out Joyner. Here's Joseph Charlton. Booms it. And coming up is Dominic Blaylock, who's got it with a fair catch at the 19-yard line.
Boy, no offense here in the second half. A lot of 3s and 4s and out, 5s and out, things like that, and the fumble, of course. But
at the wing, and they have it all. Food, beer, and the best live and local music after the game. This season, when the Gamecocks win, you win at Wild Wing Cafe. Come in on Sunday after the winning game and get a free 6-piece wing with the purchase of any beverage. Come get your Wild on at Wild Wing Cafe. Georgia with 13-17 to go in the fourth. Feeling it a little bit here. Carolina's up 17-10. DeAndre Swift will join Jake Fromm, the quarterback from Warner Robins, Georgia, 2017 Freshman of the Year. And they'll hand it off. Straight up the middle is Swift. Swift still dragging some people as they try to knock the football away, and DeAndre grinding before T.J. Brunson and Sherrod Green make the stop. It is a 5-yard gain on the play. I tell you what, he is one tough back for a guy who weighs 195 or 200 pounds.
Got that good speed on the outside, too, when he needs it.
He can catch the football. He's got 10 receptions for 147 yards. And he's to the right of Fromm now, 2nd down and 5. Jake taking a long time look, and he hands off again. Swift straight up the middle.
Nice stop.
That's a good stop.
Yeah.
Ernest Jones in there along with Aaron Sterling. Tommy, I've seen more tackles in the run game by the front 4 than I've seen in a long time today.
Yeah, and the Georgia fans getting a little restless. They kind of booing a little bit there. You're right, Todd. A lot of tackles. We'll get to that. Well, actually, let's do it now. Wanham's got 5. Kinlaw's got 4. We got some good players up there making some plays.
3rd down for the Bulldogs. They're 6 of 11 on the day, and James Cook comes in at tailback. 3 wide receivers right side. They need 4 to pick it up around the 29-yard line. Carolina shifts back from in the pocket, in trouble. Hit as he throws it, incomplete. Oh, there's a late flag on the play. Oh. Guess what? Our side judge here over on the Georgia sideline talked himself into it. And through the judge, the field judge is going to call interference on the play, a ball that could have been caught in a million years.
Number 24. The penalty will place the ball at the spot of the foul. Includes an automatic first down.
Come on, Fishers. You're letting them hurt our quarterback, and now you're doing this stuff. Come on.
I mean, I don't even see it if the ball was catchable, but it wasn't. It wasn't catchable. Wow. My goodness. All right, 1st and 10 for Fromm with a little help from his friends. And 2 wide receivers left side. They go back to the run game up the middle. DeAndre Swift into a bunch of Gamecocks, and they try to rip the ball away again. But Swift battling like he's done all day. Gains 5 on the play. They keep getting 5 yards on 1st down. Swift's up to about 95 yards in rushing. And he'll get a breather as Zamir White comes in. Zeus, as they call him. James Cook as well. 2-back set. Everybody's bunched up. Clock running at 11:19. Each team with 3 timeouts remaining. Fromm getting under center again. Man in motion. Handoff straight at the middle.
Nice.
Nothing going. The Gamecocks again at the line of scrimmage. And there's the Georgia Bulldog crowd booing the play calling. -1 on the play. Kobe Smith with another hit. Ernest Jones in there as well. That's what you got to do, Tommy. You got to, on the road, you got to take it away from a top 3 team.
Yeah, the other thing those guys up front are doing, they're shedding the tackles. It's better. I've seen them in a long time, Todd. Which is using that upper body, get those hands out of there, pushing them aside, and be 3 guys in a position to make the play. 3rd down and 6.
A star formation of wide receivers over to the right side for Jake Fromm. Now he moves his man in motion left. 2 seconds left on the play clock. 1. Snap it back. It's low. Fromm in the pocket. Under pressure. Drops it off to his tailback to the left side. That's White on the leak play. He's got a 1st down. Jake Fromm dropped back. They leaked out White late. He got lost in the crowd. And that's a 15-yard reception and a Georgia 1st down.
Good play call that time.
Yep.
Very good play call.
Georgia going quickly. Fromm out of the pocket. Wants to throw again. Underneath, incomplete. Wanted his tight end. Wolf. And Ernest Jones got the left arm in there and knocked it away. 2nd and 10 upcoming.
I'm going to tell you one thing. That Jones dude, he is everywhere.
How long is he, Tommy? Look what they show him at. He listed him at 6'2", 235.
He must have
those long arms.
Yeah, must have 39-inch arms. He's got 9 tackles today, 2 solo, half a tackle for a loss, 2 pass breakups. That makes 3. I mean, he's a player. Yeah.
10 minutes to go in the ball game. Carolina up 17-10. Georgia 2 backs in the backfield. Fromm out of the backfield. He'll throw it out in the flats. Got his man Cook. Got a blocker out in front, but the Gamecocks are there and finally push him out of bounds. J.T. Ebay comes up and makes the stop. It's a 7-yard gain on the play. Going to make it a manageable 3rd down. Boy, that didn't feel like 7 yards, but I guess that's good blocking up front by the wide receivers.
Good job by Sherrod Green that time to force it a little bit on the edge.
Here comes the rush team on the 8th play of the drive for Georgia. For Carolina, and they're under 10 minutes left in the ball game. 3rd down and 3. Ball's at the Gamecock 45-yard line. Fromm with the back to his left and 3 wide receivers to his left. In the pocket, throws underneath, backside shoulder, picked off. Mukwamu with the 2nd one of the day. Israel Mukwamu on the Georgia bench stopped another Georgia threat. And with 9:25 to go in the ball game, Carolina takes over.
What a great diving interception that time, right in front of the Georgia bench by Mukwamu. And I tell you, Todd, I think the pressure that Fromm has been under, because he hasn't been under it all year long, no sack coming in, caused him to throw that ball way off target, which is not his case. He's completing 77% of his passes coming in today and no interceptions. And he's had 2 interceptions. They went for a touchdown.
That's the first time we've had one player get 2 interceptions in a game since T.J. Holloman did it against UCF in 2015. What a catch, like you said, not just where he was, but to come up with the football.
The ruling on the field was interception and change of possession. The previous play is under review.
Well, I think it matters, certainly, but if it's not a 1st down, so they'll probably punt it, I believe. Be 4th down and about, 4, 5, I think it was.
Let's go down to Jamar Nesbit. Jamar, did you get a good look?
I can't see it. It was on the other side. You guys probably had a better look here, but I just want to let you guys know our starting left tackle is back in the game. It appears he was just battling some cramps.
Israel Mukwamu gets his 2nd interception of the day and stops a Georgia drive, and Carolina takes over the football without Ryan Helinski, their quarterback. Helinski was 15 of 20 for 116 and a touchdown. Went out with a knee injury, went on a late hit by Georgia. And Kerryon Joyner's gone all the way since then. He's got Rico Dowdle to his right and takes Edwards over to the left side in motion. Flag on the play, and that could have been another false start.
False start, offense number 52. 5-yard penalty, 1st down.
I'm not sure we started a drive in the 2nd half that hadn't had a penalty on the front end of it.
That's our 9th penalty today. Georgia's had 3.
Donnell Stanley gets over the football. Kerryon Joyner fakes it, wants to roll right. DK throws in the flat to Shi Smith. Shi with a great move at the 40, 41. Nice makeup of some ground there, manageable, 11 yards. They got J.R. Reed made the stop. DK with a good throw.
And, again, folks, unless he could not have made that throw, he could not have rolled out like that with his injury. So
Carolina going quickly. This time, DeCarrion Joyner waits for everybody to get set, snaps the football. Fake inside. DeCarrion wants to run it, needs a block, stiff arm on the edge. And DeCarrion finally goes down on the Georgia bench around the 45. He needed to get there for a first down, Tommy. I don't think he did.
He picked up some yards, though, and that's okay. And still not quite as shifty and as quick as he has been in the past with that hamstring injury, but enough to give them some concern on the outside. That's what's important.
He's a full yard short. Here comes third down and 1 at the 45. Shotgun snap. Joyner on to throw. Crossing around. Caught. What a catch off the knees. And that's Shi Smith. His hands are like gold. You get it close, he can bring it in. A 4-yard gain when they needed 1.
Good snap by Stanley where it all starts. Nice throw by DK because it was not, he was not wide open. That slant route was covered pretty well, but perfect spot. And as Todd said, those golden hands he's got.
Trey Smith checks into the ball game now. 8 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. Leading number 3 Georgia. Joyner out of the gun. Sweep play right side. Rico trying to get to the edge. Spins back into Georgia territory around the 49-yard line. Called a 3-yard gain on the play. Georgia looking a little winded on defense, Tommy. Little hands on hips. Slower to pop back up. Boy, they've got the depth, though, on that football team. That's one thing about them. They run those players in and out.
Looking not quite as confident as a typical Georgia team would. Well, obviously, they're down by 7 points, but I think they're beginning to think now they can lose this game. Not sure they will, but they can lose it. So that's beginning to wear on them a little bit.
Josh Vann in the ball game. Markway as well. Joyner out of the gun. Daddle again into the boundary. Rico cutting it back and got cut down. I saw running back coach Thomas Brown upset that Rico got the ankle caught because he saw a big lane there afterwards, a gain of just 2 yards. And that means it's going to be third down, I think, in about 4, maybe 5 yards to go.
6:55 to go in the ball game.
Tavian Feaster comes in. Tavian's going to split out as they empty the backfield for Joyner. Boy, he's a danger here. 3 wide receivers into the boundary, actually. Georgia looks a little confused. Joyner, quick throw to the outside, over the head of Shi Smith. Not even close, really, on the quick out route.
There seemed to be some confusion that time. Joyner was frustrated trying to look to his right, get people set, doing some different things, and I don't know what happened there, but he made a quick decision to throw it over Smith's head, and that's what he did.
So Joseph Charlton steps back out with 6:37 to go in the ball game. Charlton stands at his own 40-yard line. Blaylock set back to receive. Good punt, high, end over end. Carolina's there at the 10. Carolina's there at the 3 and jumping on the football. They back up the Dogs inside their 5-yard line on the best coverage of the day. And Joseph Charlton again, a superb job with Xavier Southeastern Conference in the Eastern Division against their border rival. And they lead by 7, 17-10. Georgia, they've got them backed up.
Look at those Carolina fans over there, Todd, right in front of them there. A lot of them made the trip down here. They were doing Gamecocks a while ago, and the Georgia band, it got so loud, the Georgia band started playing to shut them up. I love college football.
Georgia's had 71 plays on offense today, and they're 35 points under their average. DeAndre Swift's in the backfield with Fromm on first down. They're at their own 4-yard line. They start to drive. Fake inside. Fromm drops back in the pocket. Wants to gun one down the field. Horn there. Knocked away. Actually just bounces away. A diving wide receiver, and George Pickens can't come up with it. Well, they dialed up the guy I would have thrown it to. It's been a battle today between Pickens and Horn. And that time, Fromm couldn't connect with him. Pretty good coverage on the play.
Good coverage, but also good protection that time by Fromm. They were stretching the field, just going deep and just testing it. Good call, I think, and just not completed for Georgia. But you got to watch him now.
3 timeouts remain for each team. 6:19 to go in the ball game. Carolina in a 4-man front. Fromm out of his own end zone again. Sprint draw up the middle. Got Swift around the 10-yard line. DeAndre up to about the 14. It's going to be third down and very short. A 9-yard gain on the play. Pretty good spot for Carolina. Almost a full yard to go. They have spread it out and run with White or Swift up the middle. We'll see what they come up with here as White comes in the ball game. Fromm gets under center, wipes his hands off. Third down and very short. Some movement. Could be by the Gamecocks flag on the play.
Yep, Kinlaw.
And Kinlaw may have jumped through there. Kobe
Offside.
Smith.
Defense number 3. By contact. 5-yard penalty will result in a first down.
Kinlaw trying to get that jump. Boy, he got one too.
Well, you saw right there why he's so effective is because he goes so low, particularly on that play. I mean, pretty quick too.
Clock starts to run again at 5:43.
This game's getting down to the short rows, as we say in the country.
DeAndre Swift's in the backfield after the penalty and the first down at the 19-yard line. Fromm in the pocket, steps up, going to try to run left side. Got some room towards the Gamecock bench, runs out of bounds without getting hit. They flushed him out with the junior quarterback. Nice job running for 7 yards on the game. It'll be 2nd and 3 upcoming. Clock running at 5:23.
He's only run the ball 6 times this year, so not something he normally does.
Georgia in no rush, at least for the moment, down 7 with 5:13 to go. Carolina's done it on a defensive score. A deep pass to Brian Edwards. And now Swift into the ball game. They empty the backfield, who come in motion over to the right side. 5 wide receivers for Jake Fromm, who wipes the hands on the towel. 4-man front for Carolina. 2nd down and 4. Fromm, quick slant route down the middle. Jumping back for it on the crease play is Dominique Blaylock, the freshman from Marietta, Georgia's got it. 16-yard gain on 2nd down. They move the chains. They're going quickly. Fromm up the line of scrimmage. In the pocket again. Throwing left side towards the Gamecock bench. He's got it. And immediately brought down is George Pickens on the comeback route. And there's 4:32 to go in the ball game, and they're on the Gamecock side of the field.
Yeah, let's don't let them get in a rhythm here. That's what they're doing. They're picking the pace up. Fromm's feeling comfortable. Good protection there now. They've changed the protection up front. That helps a lot.
That's a 12-yard gain on the play, and back to the ground game in DeAndre Swift. Swift will gain a couple over the right side before J.J. Nimbare bends him back a little bit. And Ernest Jones on the stop. Swift's going to come out. White back in. Just a 3-yard gain on the play. And we're at 4:10. 4:08. Carolina trying to pull the huge upset. It'd be a top 3 upset in the history of the program to come on the road and beat a number 3 team in the country. And their nemesis, the Bulldogs. Fromm under center. White in the backfield. Play action. Fromm dropping back deep in the pocket. Throwing on a wheel route down the far sideline. Incomplete. Well covered on the play. Blaylock, the intended receiver, but Jamie Robinson was all over it. They went for the jugular there, Tommy.
Yeah, they did, and it's a good play call by Georgia, just not able to complete it because we had good coverage on him. Looks like Sterling may be down at defensive end, but also he had good time to throw it, but there were people caving in on him from a rush standpoint back there, too, so that may have caused him to not throw the target passes he's well known for.
Sterling looks like it could be cramps. And I may be guessing as well, but
he stepped it up, Todd. Last 2 or 3 games, he really started playing well.
Almost a different player.
Yeah.
Aaron Sterling, one of the 3 Gamecocks that have at least 3 sacks on the season and pressures. Will Muschamp walks out to take a look at him as well. Let me remind you, did you know that all students, faculty, and staff at the University of South Carolina are eligible to join Founders Federal Credit Union? Visit one of our Columbia offices at RelaxJoinFounders.com to complete your membership application. Relax with Founders.
Gamecocks have 10 penalties here today, 63 yards in penalties. Georgia 3 for 37. We said earlier coming in, if you count North Carolina and Missouri, North Carolina's away game, of course, neutral site, but and also Missouri, 60% of our penalties coming in had been on the road. So today certainly adds to that total. But Georgia probably could have had a few more.
And Sterling's out. J.J. Nigbare is in the ball game. And this is going to be a 3rd down, 8 to go with 3:44 remaining. Jake Fromm wipes those hands off, adjusts the face mask, takes Swift to his left side, looking over the Gamecock defense. Got Jamie Robinson in the middle of the field right now. Let's check this D. And in motion comes Robinson. Fromm out of the gun. 3 wide receivers right side. Stepping up, got time. Throwing curl route. No, out route towards the Georgia bench. Got it. He's out around the Gamecock 27-yard line. Robinson on a deep out route. Again, no pressure on the play. A 17-yard gain. 3:34 to go in the ball game. Fromm wants to work quickly. 2 wide receivers each side. Looking left side on the slant routes. Got his man. Pickens caught. J.C. Horns over there and finally knocks him out of bounds.
Not sure what defense we were in right then. That guy was so wide open, I could have thrown it to him.
11-yard gain. Georgia's threatening. This is the first time they've been in the red zone in the second half. Rukwamu got a pick at the 35-yard line.
Tell you, Georgia, you've helped us today with 3 turnovers, 2 interceptions, 1 for a touchdown, and 1 fumble. Need a little gift here. Late Christmas gift.
Aaron Sterling back in the ball game. That's good. Ken Law puts his big paw down. Fromm moves Swift over to the right side. It's 1st and 10 at the Carolina 15. Play action. Fromm in some trouble. Being flushed out right side. Tracking him down. Fromm throws towards the bench. Incomplete around the 5-yard line. Sterling was there. Ken Law was there. I don't know how these guys have any more energy left at this point. My goodness.
Yeah, not an excessively hot day, but still not cool either. I think it's probably in the low 80s maybe right now, but the sun's been beating down on us all day long, and they played their guts out.
They played 81 plays as this defense, too, for Carolina. 11th play of the drive, 2:46 remaining. 3 timeouts for each team, 17-10 Carolina.
2:46 to go.
Zamir White to the right. Fromm's got 3 wide receivers in that direction. They'll run it up the middle with White. White into a pile of white jerseys, and the Gamecocks drop him down outside the 10-yard line. And now a 3rd down upcoming because Kobe Smith and Aaron Sterling make the stop. And Tommy, they got to get this ball to the 5-yard line to pick that up.
Also got to go for a touchdown. They can't go field goal. 2:25.
J.J. Nigbare back in the ball game. Three timeouts remaining for each squad. 3 wide receivers over to the right side. 3rd down and 6 for Jake Fromm. Working out of the shotgun, looking left side in the pocket. Under some pressure, flushed out left side. Pump fake, thrown another one. Back in the end zone, incomplete and out of bounds. It's 4th down, and Georgia's got a huge decision from their own 10-yard line.
They're facing 4th and what, Todd, about 6, maybe 7.
6 yards, 6 yards.
Good pressure that time on Fromm. Changed the pressure a little bit, blitzed the linebacker that time. This, when you get down here, many times the end zone works to your advantage if your defense, because it shrinks the field. Gamecocks did that with the scheme defensively, had a lot of people over there.
Under 2 minutes, 1:59 to go. Each team with 3 timeouts. It's 4th down and 6 for Georgia. They got to get to the Carolina 5-yard line. 2 seconds left on the play clock. Fromm snaps it back in the pocket, looking down the middle, throws high and incomplete. Turnover downs.
No.
There's a flag on the play. Are you kidding me? At the goal line, thrown way over the head of the tight end Eli Wolf. They're trying to take it away.
Holding against the eligible receiver, number 7.
Oh my gosh.
Probably a pretty good call, really.
Automatic 1st down.
Doggone it. Probably a pretty good call. No Robinson, 2 freshmen, playing his guts out, but just didn't play it like he's supposed to.
1st down and goal now for Georgia with 1:53 to go in the ball game. They're down 7.
Score quick so we'll have more time to try to score.
And Fromm with a fresh set of downs. Takes 3 wide receivers over to the right side. 1st and goal from the 5. Fromm throwing to the back of the end zone. incomplete. No, they call it a touchdown. Touchdown, Georgia. From 5 yards out, a crossing route. The extra point could tie it up with 1:48 to go, and this place goes crazy. He tapped the feet. I think he got it in.
It looks like it is. You couldn't really tell from here, even by the. They got to look at it again for sure, and I know they will. Got another player injured out there.
Demetrius Robinson.
Could be just exhaustion, quite honestly.
And with a hand down on the ground and the extra point upcoming to tie it. Assuming Georgia kicks it. Tommy, you got another look at the replay. What do you think?
Yeah, I think he probably got it. I think he got down and had possession of the ball, and got to give him credit on that one, guys.
Good catch.
Yep, good catch, good throw. Had pressure coming. Fromm was backing off on his back foot, threw it, and put it up high, and that's where you got to do it.
That was Javon Kinlaw, who seemed fatigued and on one knee. And now Blankenship will come to attempt the very, very important extra point. He waves his hands out. By the way, he's never missed one in his career.
Good time for him to do it.
Looks up at it. They put it down for him. He kicks it up. He's got it. We're tied in Athens at 17. Georgia gets the drive when they need it. They go 13 plays, 96 yards, took 4:38 off the clock. And they get a little help on a pass interference call and stick it in with Robinson. And now they tied it up at 17.
Got to give them credit, though. You know, a couple tough plays there, and you can't say any more about it. I mean, Carolina's defense played a lot of plays here in the second half, Todd.
Yep.
Got to be tired. Got to be tired. Proud of these guys. But we got to win this thing now. Let's don't be afraid to win it. Got to do what we got to do. 1:48 to go.
Georgia's had 84 plays on offense.
Yeah.
Carolina down a quarterback. Kerryon Joyner's going for the injured Ryan Helinski. He's 4 for 9 on the day for just 28 yards.
We just got to get it in field goal position. Let's let White win it for us.
White's already kicked a 49-yarder today, a career long for him.
I don't think they'll do an onside kick. I wouldn't do that. Not at all.
You got to back up quarterback in. You try to stop him.
Yep, exactly.
Everybody's got 3 timeouts.
Get this thing to overtime.
Let your crowd work for you. Shi Smith set back to receive. No one's had a return today. Blankenship runs up to the football, high, end over end. Shi can't even let it go over his head because it went out of the back of the end zone. And now you're going to hear a crowd that's not quite been into it all day. And with the score tied at 17, Kerryon Joyner is going to have to overcome the 11 on the field and the 90,000 in the stands. Number 7 comes out with some swagger and bobbing his head to the crowd and the music.
Only one other place in college football for us, Todd, is better to win at.
That's right.
This place.
Joyner empties the backfield on 1st and 10. Looking, going down the field, got his tight end, Nick Buse, for a first down. Just like it was outside with nobody defending. He hushes the crowd on a 12-yard throw.
And stood in the pocket like a man.
First down and 10 for Carolina.
143.
Opened up the crowd again. Joyner again throwing right side. Got tipped at the line of scrimmage. Incomplete. That's a problem with Joyner's size. They list him at 6'1". I think he's right at 6 foot, 205. Has a hard time throwing over. 1:39 to go after the incompletion. Both teams with 3 timeouts, tied at 17. Joyner in the pocket, looking down the far sideline. Right here with a jump ball. Chavis Dawkins calling for it. Flag on the play. Dawkins reached back with the left hand, and the defender was there. And it looks like it may be pass interference on Georgia.
I don't see how it could be on Carolina, but you never know. But I believe it is Georgia.
Defense
There you
14.
go. Yeah.
15-yard penalty for the previous spot. Automatic first down.
That's DJ Daniel. The Gamecocks finally get a call here in the second half as Daniel interferes on a good throw from DeCarrion Joyner, by the way.
1:33 to go. Gamecocks on their, 47. So how far do we have to get down to give him a chance to make a 50-yard field goal?
Add 17 on the yardage.
Yeah.
And Joyner's telling Smith to get into the boundary. First down and 10. Joyner throws to the outside. Rico makes a catch and it gets held up. -2 on the play with 1:25 to go and the clock running.
Tell you what I'd do, Todd. I'd run a quarterback draw.
Or the regular draw.
Oh, the regular draw.
South
You're
Carolina.
right. Yeah.
First timeout this half. This will be a 30-second timeout.
Gamecocks take the timeout. They have 2 remaining. Georgia's got 3. It's 2nd and 11 upcoming. So you got to get something for Joyner to do positively, and we need to get down the field. Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification. You're listening to Gamecock Sports Network from Learfield IMG College.
Over Columbia. It's hard-hitting sports. 107.5 The Game.
A Cumulus station.
They added 2 seconds back onto the clock, 1:26. Second down and 11 for Carolina. Gamecocks on the road in conference play.
Only in the SEC is it like this.
I know.
It's amazing.
Anything can happen on Saturday.
Yep. 93,000 people, and Gamecocks coming here, overwhelming underdog, 25-point spread supposedly, if you follow that stuff, and just never have so few given so much to so many, this football team and coaching staff.
Tavian Feaster checks in the ball game. He splits out wide. Joyner's going all the way with an empty backfield on this drive. 3-man front by Georgia. Snap it back, they rush 4. Joyner's in the pocket, now cuts back. Right side, got some room. DK's inside the 45 of the Georgia Bulldogs on a 6-yard run. What a move in the backfield to get away from the initial rusher. Nick Hughes comes in the lineup, 3 into the boundary. Clock running at 1:08, 3rd down and 6 to go. Joyner in the pockets, got some time, gonna roll right. Joyner's tracked from behind, gets inside the 40, he's gonna be short for the first down. It's gonna be 4th down upcoming. He got a 3-yard gain and he couldn't keep his balance. And DK needed to get to the 37-yard line. Boy, they marked him all the way back to the 40 now, Tommy.
Yeah, Georgia's calling timeout.
Timeout. Georgia, first timeout of the half. This will be a 30-second timeout.
And Tommy, the problem here is you don't get it. Georgia's got the short field and a field goal kicker that can kick 50 yards as well. He kicked a 55-yarder in the bowl game a couple of years ago.
Yeah, I think the question here is, do you want to get it to overtime? And if you want to do that, then you know what you do here, in my opinion. And you still probably going to only run off, if you punch, you're only going to run off 4 to 5 seconds the way they run these clocks sometimes. And so you got Georgia with the ball with 40 seconds to go. And hopefully you can get it inside the 10 and see what happens. But, yeah, this is a gut check call. This is fun.
I mean, if you get it 10 yards from here, that's a 57-yard field goal for us.
Charlton's coming on, so it looks like here comes
Parker Wright.
Wow.
Oh, my goodness. Hold my breath.
Win it for us, Parker.
45 yards out. 45 seconds to go. Parker Wright lines up for a 58-yard field goal attempt. Carlton to hold. Tied at 17. Snap it back. Put it down. White, not long enough. To the right. Missed it. Tied at 17 with 40 seconds remaining. Good go at it, though. Good go at it.
Yeah. Didn't hit it quite like I've seen him hit it before, but that's all right. That is okay, guys. Lucky.
Oh, goodness gracious. Georgia takes over with 40 seconds remaining and 2 timeouts. Really, for the same match, they just need to go 20 yards.
Yeah, and that's what words, and that's what you said. It can happen. You ask your kicker normally, can you do it? Can you make it? If he says yes, you kind of go with him. If he says too far, you don't. So I don't know if that happened or not, but a lot of times that's the way they do it.
Fromm's gone all the way at quarterback. Georgia's got 17 points and Swift in the backfield with him. Fromm wants to throw it. Looking left side, bouncing around, got plenty of time. Crossing route, incomplete to Swift, who had a step on Ernest Jones.
That one ran 6 seconds off the clock, and Swift was wide open. Took a long time getting out of the backfield. Fromm had all the time he wanted and just overthrew him. Overthrew behind him, brother.
Fromm taking a long look over to the sideline. Clock is stopped at 34 seconds. Still have 2 timeouts remaining. They're undefeated at number 3 in the country. 17 all. Carolina 2-3, heavy underdogs. Another 3-man front for Carolina. I'm surprised Coach Robinson, T-Rob, not coming after more. Sprint draw up the middle. Swift got some room. Cutting back to Swift, down about the 47-yard line before T.J. Brunson brings him down. An 8-yard gain. Now there's 28 seconds and a timeout on the field.
Second timeout of the half. This will be a 30-second timeout.
Carolina trying to rip the football away there. Boyd, he just barely ran by Aaron Sterling, who would have hit him in the backfield on the looping play. So Blankenship, as I mentioned, his long field goal was against number 2 Oklahoma, a 55-yarder.
Total offense today, the Gamecocks 272, Georgia 450. And not a good match there, but we did have rushed the ball over 100 yards for 117. Of course, the touchdown we got was a 43-yard or 46-yard, I guess. It was on an interception. 53-yarder interception.
Georgia well under their average of 250 yards rushing in the ball game.
Yep.
But they found some creases here throwing the football with the Gamecocks struggling. They've been on the field, this defense, 86 plays. That'll test you in October. All right, Fromm now on a 3rd down and 2 with 28 seconds to go. Scott Swift in the backfield with him. 3 wide receivers over the right side. Now he empties the backfield. Fromm on 3rd and 2. Pressure in the pocket. Bouncing around. Runs out left side. Got some room. He got the first down and finally run out of bounds on the Gamecock bench. Good coverage down the field, but Fromm escapes to run for 8 yards and a Georgia first down with 20 seconds remaining and 2 timeouts. Excuse me, 1 timeout. Carolina has 2. Man, I can't believe they threw it there. Trying to preserve a timeout. 20 seconds remaining. They need to get, right now they're about a 60-yard field goal attempt. 3 wide receivers again to the right side. Fromm working out of the shotgun. Swift in the back. Fromm throws underneath. Got his wide receiver caught. That's Simmons. And Simmons will have it marked down. Timeout, Georgia. They take the last timeout with 13 seconds remaining. And they're going to kick it from here with their
Georgia,
field goal kicker.
3rd and final timeout of the half.
I still hadn't got a spot on this thing.
This will be a 30-second timeout.
There it is. Looks like it's going to be at the 37-yard line, a 55-yard attempt. This would match his career long.
Yeah, he can do that. He could hit that.
Yeah, he hit it against Oklahoma. Of course, he had a 50-yarder earlier that DJ Wanham blocked. And Blankenship's got to be thinking about that as well. It's the only field goal he's missed this season. He came in 11 for 11, made one, 12 for 12, and then had one blocked. 13 seconds remaining. Georgia trying to win it in regulation. Carolina looking for one of their biggest upsets ever. Certainly on the road. Certainly this heavy an underdog.
What a heck of a football game. And but
unbelievable
much offensive display here in the second half. But boy, it's been a lot of players making some daggum good plays.
Tommy, do you use your timeouts here to ice them or do you save them?
I think with 13, I don't know. You got to use one of them. He's going to run one more.
Fromm's back in here.
Yeah.
He's going to try to run one more play and then spike it, which he does have time to do with 13 seconds. Jones in the backfield. Fromm going to throw it. Out route. Is that knocked away? Incomplete on the Georgia sideline. I thought Carolina might have the pick with JT eBay covering. So now with 8 seconds remaining, no timeouts, they got to bring out Blankenship.
You know, he missed probably White or Swift out here in the flat.
Yes.
He could have got it to him and probably picked up 5 more yards right there, and that would have been perfect. But they're going to try it one more time with 8 seconds to go, just to get it a little bit closer.
Boy, that is risky. It'll be James Cook in the backfield with him. Same set for wide receivers. It's a hush crowd for the moment. Carolina in that 4-man front. Fromm with 2 seconds on the play clock. 1.
Wow.
Snap it back. Don't call it. Fromm looking. Throwing. Tipped away. Incomplete. There's a flag on the play on the far sideline. That's on the Gamecock bench.
Yeah, no flag on the from the.
It's away from the throw.
I think it's against Carol. I don't know.
Boy, if this is against Georgia.
Offense, number 1, number 16 are moving at the same time and not reset for a full second. 5-yard penalty, beat the down.
With 3 seconds left, 5-yard penalty, 55 just turned into a 60. What are they thinking? You got a kicker that's made a 55-yarder before. You've almost had the ball picked off twice, by the way. And they got 3 seconds remaining.
Looks like to me it's a Hail Mary. They're not going to put it in the position.
They're not going to let us block it.
Yeah.
And run it back.
You know, Hail Mary, which is always very dangerous.
So to go to overtime or to win it.
For both sides.
They take Blankenship off the field. Cook's in the backfield. 3 wide receivers over to the right. Simmons over to the left. Will Muschamp takes a timeout.
Boy, this is fun, isn't it?
Strategies back and forth from these former teammates.
This is a 30-second timeout.
Coaches coached together. They were teammates at Georgia. Friends. Now battling some serious strategy. Georgia literally trying to hold on to potentially the playoff implications to play for the national championship.
The issue they got to worry about, though, Todd, is even if they win this ball game, they're going to drop. They're going to drop the way it is now. So, and this is a very good football team. Georgia, that is, folks. Very good football team. But today, they played one just as good. And I said before the game started, up front, both sides of the ball is what mattered. I think defensively up front specifically, Carolina has just really dominated in some respects, many respects. So let's see what happens. Carolina playing with a second-string quarterback, too, and also now offensively up front, playing with a second-string offensive tackle because another guy went out, Hutchinson. So see what happens.
The Bulldogs fans wanted Blankenship to go out. They bring out Fromm. Now they take 2 wide receivers each side. 1 back in the backfield. Fromm steps back. He's at the 50-yard line. Cranked up. Gets hit as he throws it. Incomplete. What a great move. All the way around the edge. Kinlaw picks it up.
There's no whistle.
There's no whistle as Kinlaw's got it. The game's over as Kinlaw runs out of bounds at the 35-yard line. Fromm was lucky he did not break a wrist or something as Aaron Sterling
Kinlaw's limping a little bit.
Got hit. Yeah. Kinlaw's limping because he's tired.
Hope that's it.
My goodness. We're going to overtime in Athens. Tied at 17. Oh, Hart can't take it. The Gamecocks are 2-4 all time in games decided by overtime. And back in 03, the crowd there to work on the Gamecocks. No time. Let's go back to the studio. Here's Greg Brannon.
All right, guys. Why don't you catch your breath real quick, and I'll take a look at the SEC scoreboard. We have one final. Tennessee able to beat Mississippi State 20-10. SEC games on tap starting here in about 10 minutes. Alabama travels to College Station to take on Texas A&M. Then you have Vanderbilt at 4 o'clock. They host UNLV. Ole Miss is at Missouri, also 7 o'clock. And then the big one tonight, Florida and LSU. So that gives you a quick look at the SEC scoreboard. We'll send it back, Todd, Tommy, to you, and hang on. This is going to be fun.
Thank you, Greg. Gamecocks will go on defense first. A unit has played 90 defensive plays, steps back out on the field to try to get a stop. And normally the strategy is go on defense first, then you know what you have to do scoring-wise when you come back on. You can kick the field goal, but a touchdown would beat them. So Jake Fromm is going all the way at quarterback. He's 28 of 48, 295 and a touchdown, and those 2 interceptions. One for a pick 6. He's got DeAndre Swift in the backfield with him. Claps his hands, calls for the football. Handoff, Swift bouncing right side. Line pushing forward around and down to the 20-yard line or so. And that defensive line stiffens for Carolina, holds it to a 4-yard gain on the play. Tommy Suggs, Jamar, Nesbit, Douglas Adams, our statistician, David Spence, our spotter, Dan Stewart, our engineer, Liz McMillan, our producer, and Drew Brackett back in the studio, along with Greg Brandon. Appreciate everybody's work on this October Saturday, SEC football. 2nd and 6. Quiet crowd here now. Their Georgia football team, number 3 in the country. Needs a special play. Fromm got a tight formation each side. Wants to throw, quick throw underneath. Hit it out of the hands and picked off. Mukwamu's got the football. That's his 3rd pick of the day. Israel Mukwamu, magic hands. Magic hands comes up with it. And listen to this crowd. You can hear the breath come out of them. Because Carolina can take the football now and win this game.
Only thing we got to do is kick a field goal.
Oh, don't say it. Don't say it, Tommy.
I didn't say it.
Not the only thing.
Forget it.
Oh, my goodness.
I tell you again, though, Todd, I think potentially the rush caused him to throw it behind him. And again, folks, Fromm is one of the best in the country. Maybe one of the best ever here at Georgia. And he just, today, for some reason, he's been off target. And I think because he hadn't been sacked but one time coming into the game, today he was sacked 3 times.
Dakereon Joyner's got to clean this thing up and get it done. In the backfield with Rico Dowdle. Ryan Edwards comes in motion. Rico up the middle. Dives into about the 21-yard line, running hard. Dakereon 6 of 12 on the day for 39 yards. Gamecocks trying to do the rare thing. Carolina's only won 8 times in Athens, ever. They're looking for the 9th now against the number 3 team in the country. Joyner out of the shotgun, running again. Rico stutter step inside the 20 and almost break free. And he'll be down around the 13-yard line or so. Boy, you got some people leaving, Tommy.
Eliski's on the sideline with a brace on. He's been sitting back there on one of those benches or whatever, pulling and shooting, but now he's up on the sideline looking, and obviously they're holding him up because of his knee.
Mukwamu with the 3 interceptions. Tommy, you'll remember this. The last time the guy had one, Patrick Hinton at NC State.
Yeah.
Right now to Dakereon Joyner on offense. 3rd down and about 2 yards to go. Rico up the middle, this time over the right side. He bounces behind Markway.
Just getting in the middle of the field. That's what that is, just spotting the ball.
Couple good blocks, and here comes Parker White. He's had 3 fourth-quarter wins in his career.
One last year against Missouri was a horrible day with all the rain, delayed twice.
It's going to be well within his range. It'll be placed right inside the left hash mark. Carolina trying to break a 4-game losing streak. Trying to upset the number 3 team in the country. Timeout, Georgia. You knew that was coming.
Timeout, Georgia. First and only timeout of the extra period.
Joseph Charlton will be the holder. We hadn't talked much about Matt Oliveira, the snapper for Carolina, the transfer. Done a great job this year so far.
I tell you, when you don't talk about them, that means they're doing a great job.
Yeah, right, especially that
no
position.
Question. That in a hole. I held for 3 years in college, and that's not easy. But boy, you got to have that center to get it back there to you in the right spot. Got to twist the ball, make sure they're not kicking the threads and all those things.
Boy, it's set up in a good spot. It'll be Parker White attempting a 33-yard field goal into the east end zone, just inside, now about 3 or 4 yards inside the right hash mark. Charlton comes back, puts his knee down on the ground. Looking for the upset in overtime over Georgia. White looks up, says he's ready. Snap it back, put it down, kick it up. No good. No good. Parker White missed it. From 33 yards out, he missed the game winner. And we go to the second period in overtime. Oh. He pushed it right. He pushed it right. From 33 yards out.
Give him another opportunity, guys.
That's right.
Yep.
Well, you could see the emotion more on Georgia there. Just absolute stuttered relief. And White can't kick it from 33 yards out to beat the Dogs. Second overtime period.
White coming into the game has been very reliable for Carolina, as we all know. 7 of 9.
Good motion towards the short side of the field. That's the left side. It's a reverse play. Brian Edwards trying to corner. Got a block by Joyner. Got another block. Edwards inside the 20 is not going to net much as he's being tracked down the entire time. We'll call it 7 yards on the play. But Will Muschamp going for it there. Brian McClendon going for it for plays to win the game. Good block by Joyner.
That'd be a nice one right there to run the same thing and throw it. But we hadn't run that all year long where he throws it off of. Good block, good effort by everybody.
Shi Smith and Brian Edwards split out to the left side. Second down and 3 to go. Tied at 17 in the second overtime. Battles to the left for Joyner. Carry on. Fake inside. Blitz coming. Trying to get rid of the football. Steps out of one tackle. Steps into the Georgia sideline. Hit kind of late, but not called on the play.
Close to a first down. Looks like about a yard short.
About
maybe.
A yard short on third down. Now that guy can escape. Georgia was so good at timing that blitz out. It was Crowder right up the middle. Good block by Rico, actually.
All right, Todd, what do you do here? You go for the field goal, you got to run for it. You go for first down.
Third down, you got to run for it here.
I think you do, too. You got 2 downs to make 1 yard. Just don't have a loss on the down at all.
Joyner's limping Tommy a little bit as well.
Yeah.
9 seconds left on the play clock. Third down and 1 in the second overtime. Muschamp wants a timeout.
Yeah. Joyner looked like a little discombobulated there. He's limping a little bit, as you said.
Timeout, South Carolina. First and only timeout of the extra period.
I'm telling you, he was hit late out of bounds, too,
Yeah.
it looked like to me. Right on that thigh, and he's limping. And I hope he tells his coaches. I don't know if that's why Muschamp called the timeout or not, but
Looked like he was trying to talk to the right side of the offensive line and maybe a tight end there, Muse, trying to get them lined up and make sure they knew the play. Is so loud down there because that is enclosed in. Both ends are enclosed, but that's the big enclosed end. So hard to hear, hard to communicate. That's why you want, when you play a team at home in Williams-Brice, you want all the people who can be there and yell and scream and do all that stuff.
Georgia's won 15 straight games over Eastern Division opponents. Carolina trying to stop that today. Third down and 1 at the 16-yard line of the Dogs. Joyner does come back out. He'll take Rico Battle out there. Pistol formation for the moment. On a snap, a 4-game losing streak for Georgia. That's the second best win in school history. Joyner changing things up with 13 seconds to go. Crowd loud. Battle right behind him. Handoff straight up the middle. Rico's got a spin down to about the 15. I think he got it. He got hit in the backfield, held his balance, spun around, and went down to about the 15. Oh, Kershaw says it's fourth down.
It's close. I tell you, bad spot, I think, but guess what I'm pulling for.
Wow, it is fourth down. So here comes Nick Muse, it looks like for the moment. They're going to go for it. They don't get it. That obviously would be the same for Georgia. They could just kick the field goal and win.
Yep.
We're in the second overtime. 6 seconds left on the play clock. We've got no other timeout, by the way. Joyner under center. Rico Dattle, the tailback. And now Kirby calls a timeout.
Timeout.
Wow. I think they had us in a pinch.
I do, too. A lot of chess match playing going on here.
Smart calls a timeout. We were running out of play clock time in the I formation. I don't know if Joyner had seen the clock or not. man. Well, they'd not seen us in the power eye all day long, and that may have said to Coach Smart, let's readjust here. Rico Dattle on the day at 74 yards. The carry on Joyner, 6 carries for 28. Feaster, 6 carries for 25. And right now, all we need is a half a yard.
4th down, though, got to have it. Gamecocks rushed for 135 today, thrown for 155 for 290. Georgia passing yards 295, rushing yards 173. So their total offense 468 to 290 for Carolina, but it doesn't matter. Game's tied.
I don't know. I admittedly did not have a great view of the Dattle run, but that didn't look like the right. He turned and fell backwards after the hit, but
looked like to me his body was far, top of part of his body was over the line, and I don't know where the ball was, but the official came in and marked it pretty quickly. We didn't seem to argue with it.
All right, 2 wide receivers come out this time, and 2 tight ends. Markway's got his hand down. Hughes in the backfield. Pistol formation. Joyner running the football right side. Rico inside the 10-yard line. 1st down, Carolina on the Rico Dattle run over the right side. An 8-yard gain, and Carolina stays alive in the second overtime.
I tell you, Rhodes just killed his guy. Pulled him to the right that time and just knocked his guy out of the way. Couldn't tell who it was, but just excellent blocking that time by a lot of those guys. And also, I guess it was 52 up there, too.
Joyner back to work, working off the right hash mark. Feaster's in the ball game. They'll hand to Feaster straight at the middle, pushing the pile down to about the 6-yard line. Boy, into the boundary all day. You just wonder whether Joyner can hold on to one of these and go left side himself. That's a 2-yard gain on the play. Everybody looks tired. Offense, defense, coaches, broadcasters. Carolina in the second overtime in Athens, Georgia against number 3, Georgia. Play clock down to 16. 2 wide receivers left side. Feaster stays in. Pistol formation. Edwards comes in motion over to the right side. Snap it back. Feaster bouncing inside. Going to lose maybe a yard or 2. Not much going at all. And there's a flag thrown down on the play here around the 5-yard line towards the Georgia sideline. Oh, and that's against Georgia.
Defense number 76. Half the distance to the goal. Repeat the down. 2nd down.
Well, that was there the whole time. It wasn't late. They threw it right at the beginning. So an offside defender in their big unit. And that's a break for the Gamecocks, who now see the marker be 2nd and goal from the 3. 2nd and goal from the 3. Chandler Farrell comes in. An extra tight end. He's over to the right with Markway. Pistol formation. Rico Dattle. Edwards the only one on the outside. Option play left side. Pitch to Rico at the 5. Trying to turn the corner. Dives down to about the 2. Joyner with the pitch. Edwards was on the block, but great inside leverage by Georgia, Tommy, to get there. Impressive run down. Just a yard gained on the play. And let's see where they marked that. It's at the 2.
Yeah, the problem there was Brian Edwards didn't get the call or whatever, so he was late getting off, and he was not able to run his guy off, which was a problem there. But regardless, pretty good play that time to pick up any yards.
Now it's 3rd and goal from the 2-yard line. 12 seconds left on the play clock. They're working off the left hash mark. Joyner under center. Dattle, the tailback. Handoff. Rico gets hit in the backfield. Go through there and crush Rico on 3rd and goal from the 2. I don't know who missed it, but it was a Clowney-like play up the middle. And Carolina's got to kick the field goal.
Boy, Rico didn't have a chance that time. Looked like he was stung a little bit. Yeah, just came through the gap between the right guard and the center.
Parker White had just missed a 33-yarder. He's got to keep Carolina alive with a 23-yard attempt just inside the left hash mark of Georgia. Put it down for him, sweep up, kick it.
That's good.
Got it.
Yep.
White jumps back, keeps him alive. Carolina had it inside the Georgia 5, could not convert. And now Georgia could win it with a touchdown. The Gamecock scoring drive roundup is brought to you by your local South Carolina Beef Council. Parker White with a 23-yard field goal in the second overtime period. Remember, Gamecock fans, you can score big this season by enjoying delicious and healthy beef at your next tailgate. Beef is what's for tailgating. Tommy with a turnover as well. The Gamecocks could win the ball game. They stop them here and hold on with just that 3. Boy, knifing through was Clark on that play. Great job to stop Rico Dattle. And Jake Fromm comes back out on the field, needing a touchdown to win it, needing a field goal to go to the third overtime. He'll start on the ground with DeAndre Swift, and T.J. Brunson meets him in the hole. No gain on the play.
That's the way you fill that gap.
Boy, Brunson didn't look fatigued on that one at all, despite the fact there are around 90 plays on defense. 92 make that today. What an effort by this Gamecock squad. Came in, as Tommy pointed out, 24 or 5-point underdogs, 2-3 on the season. And haven't beaten Georgia in 4 years. All right, here's Fromm to work. Cook comes in motion, a play action. Fromm wants to roll out, throws to his tight end, incomplete. Hit as they threw it to him and almost up into the arms of a Gamecock, Charlie Warner, and that brings up third down. And it's going to be 3rd and 10. Quite the work here for the Bulldogs in the second overtime.
Tell you, if he'd have caught that, he wouldn't have gained anything probably. We had Carolina white jerseys all around him.
Redwell and Ernest Jones put his face mask right into Warner's stomach.
He's going off the field right now, too.
I think he got hit in the groin.
I don't know where it is, but it looks painful.
So that brings on Sherrod Green. He'll play in the middle. Fromm's going to back up everybody. Swift comes in motion. Empty set. Blitz up the middle. Fromm throwing down the field. The corner. Knocked away at the pylon. Incomplete. And it's 4th down. Georgia has got to kick the field goal to stay in the ball game.
It's a heck of a play that time by Horn. Was it Horn?
That was Jamie Robinson again.
Yeah, 70. And because did not interfere. Georgia was pulling for it, but really did a good job.
And so now Blankenship will attempt a 42-yard field goal. He's had one blocked on the day. Plenty of distance for him he's got in this gearbox. But Carolina's blocked. Blankenship looks, nods, says he's ready to take it to the third overtime. Kicks it up. And no good! He missed it! And the Gamecocks win it at Athens in second overtime. Carolina takes down number 3, Georgia. They win it 20-17.
I am not believing that.
A 2-overtime victory against the number 3 team in the country. We break a 4-game losing streak, and Georgia trots to the locker room.
Tell you, I said earlier, Todd, a lot of firsts today for Carolina. You know, we talked about Fromm and not throwing an interception. He threw 3 today to the same guy. Thank you very much. And then, of course, Blankenship had not missed a field goal. He got one block. Then the key right here, he missed it. So, you know, you take him any way you can get him, folks. But I'm going to tell you one thing. I want you to listen to me, fans. Never have so few given so much for so many. It's unbelievable. I'm going to tell you, these guys laid it on the line today.
The effort today was outstanding in all fields. We had a backup quarterback who came in the game and held on to a 17-point lead and then added on to it. And the alma mater, the Georgia Bulldogs, where Will Muschamp went to school, he played ball. He gets a win over Georgia, only the second of his career. He got one against Florida, and now, while he was in Florida, and now he takes down Georgia in Athens.
And Todd, that tired defense and tired offense, when that kick was missed, they all sprinted record 40-yard dashes to the middle of the field out there where that big old G is. It was a lot of fun to watch. And these kids have played so hard. I don't know why they hadn't played this way the early part of the year, but they certainly did today. Unbelievable.
Let's go down the field. Jamar Nesbit.
Hey, it's just pandemonium. I was going to grab somebody, but these kids are having fun. I don't want to interrupt it. They got the block C running in the middle of the field, enjoying life, man. I can't get in the middle of it.
Be careful, Jamar.
Yeah, we'll grab somebody in a second. Jamar Nesbit down there in the midst of white jerseys. These people won't leave, Tommy. They don't believe it's over with.
No, I know that. Well, they better, because it is. You know, we get back tonight about 8:30, 9 o'clock. We're going to be at the new Football Operations Center. So, and people want to come out there and say thanks to these kids, it'd be wonderful.
I can't believe this.
I can't either. I cannot either.
I'm telling you, the odds
20?
against them doing this today. In a game where they had 90-plus plays on defense. Jake Fromm, who's come in not thrown an interception, throws 3 to one guy. Ryan Helinski, the freshman quarterback, out of the ball game. Joyner's got to come in. He hadn't played in 3 weeks and not a quarterback. And he does the job and get Will Muschamp and his staff, give them credit. Unbelievable effort today.
Another thing, too, Todd, is that Fromm had not had a sack. Had 1 sack all year long, and we had 3 on him today. And we put pressure on him all day long. We didn't hit him late or questionable anything like that. Georgia, on the other hand, really punished Helinski. And I got a little upset about it in the first and second half, and I think justifiably so. But regardless, whether you like that or not, he took a lot of hits. He played tough today as a true freshman. Well, he got a call, and on that call, for a late hit, a low hit rather, he had to go out of the game. So, wow, look at the kids over there in front of all the Carolina fans.
And I'm glad they made it.
This is better than sweet cake, man. I'm going to tell you, unbelievable.
Playing the alma mater, acknowledging those Gamecocks who came over. It was a packed house of 90,000 today, almost all dogs. But right now, it is the Gamecocks field. They upset number 3, Georgia. Maybe the second or third biggest upset in the history of the program, Tommy. Of course, beating number 1 Alabama